Because I know there's gonna be a big ass party down there, man. Big ass party for Carolina
Absolutely.
game.
You know that. You know Carolina gonna do it big, man. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do.
Hey, blow the horn, blow the horn. We
I
we
see
just rolled
everybody.
into a natural today. We're not gonna do it official. Rap's gonna do his official intro, obviously, but yeah, we don't need any music to get the party started today, man. We're chilling. We're big chilling, chopping it
Yeah,
up. We
man.
already got people in the comments. We got Sodak
What's good?
Kid,
What's good?
Bob Swede, Nick Warren, AJ Halsendorf, always tapping in on Facebook. Facebook people tapping in early today. I like what I see. I like what I see. What's going on, guys? Let me actually put your comments up there, give you some love.
Facts.
Hey Bob, you're popular, man. Bob is everybody got love for Bob.
I want to mock, man.
I
You know what
want
I'm
that
saying?
Mr. Mock.
That's
Mr.
Mr. I
Mock.
want to mock, man. You know what
Hey,
I'm saying?
hey, Bob. Eventually, we need to get you on the actual show and do a mock draft with you, like just to like solidify you as Mr. Mock. I think it's only right to actually get you on the show and do a real mock draft with you.
Oh, we
What's up,
got
Nick?
Sodak. Let me hit that. Let me hit that horn for Sodak, man. My boy Sodak, man. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to my boy Sodak. Last night was his birthday, man. You know, he was getting crazy love in the chat.
Hey,
Crazy love, man.
Sodak.
Shout out Sodak,
Happy
man.
birthday, man. Happy birthday, Sodak. Appreciate you tapping in.
So,
As
so man.
always. As
For
always,
sure.
tapping in. Whether it's on Rap's page or whether it's on my page, you're always
Yeah, for
tapped in.
sure.
I appreciate that, man. D Will, what's going on? D Will. Uh AJ said, fuck the BS. It's Skull to the Bowl.
Let's
Man, we going
go.
back to Skull to the Bowl days. I haven't heard Skull to the Bowl in since 2017,
And boy
man.
gave up
Skull to
on
the
that shit,
Bowl.
innit? Boy done gave up on that shit,
Sheesh, man.
man.
What's
Scroll to the
up?
bowl. They
After
was like, man.
2017, you didn't really want to say it no more. You feel like it's cursed a little bit.
Like,
It sounds good,
man.
right? Skull to
That
the
shit
Bowl.
sound cute, man. That shit cute. That shit cute. Yeah, we
It's
got to
all
make
about
some
the meaning.
changes.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got to
most
make some
definitely. It's
changes for
coming
sure.
too.
They
Come on,
coming. Oh,
so
yeah.
that kid.
Coming down the tailpipe. Don't worry.
Mike
Shout out
Sports
Mike.
Vibes, what's going on?
Shout out Mike
Tapping
Sports
in,
Vibes in
tapping
the
in.
building, man. Mike Sports Vibe in the building, man. Let's get it, man.
Yeah, man. We're talking state of the franchise today, man. We made it broad. So we're gonna talk about whatever the hell y'all want to talk about. And I'm sure we're gonna get a mock comment coming up. So eventually we're gonna get a mock draft. I'm pretty sure.
We can do
If
that.
it hasn't been already. Jim, what's up? Welcome in, Jim Bowman on Facebook. Appreciate you guys. Before we
Shout
get
out
started,
Jim,
though,
man.
make sure to hit those like buttons, y'all. We got 13 people in here, but we only got 2 likes. Something ain't adding up. So go hit those likes on Purple Pocket Podcast. And as well, go over and hit those likes on Purple and SKOL'd Media. We greatly appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button as well, y'all. So that's what we're really working for. Let's get that subscribe button up. And then let's get those likes up and those views, man.
Beat
That's what
that
we're working for.
subscribe button up, y'all,
Yes.
boy. Beat it
Yes.
up.
And just a reminder, y'all, we got a huge mock, or not mock, excuse me, it won't be a mock. This will be the real
See
thing.
what you
Draft
doing, Bob?
Mania.
See what you
Man,
doing, Bob?
Bob, you're running off on me. Mock. I'm going to just say mock randomly throughout the show. Mock. But yes, we're doing a draft mania on night 1 of the draft, which is April 27th. That is a Thursday. I believe the draft starts at 8 p.m. Eastern. If it's not 8 p.m. Eastern, it's 7:30 p.m. Eastern. So we'll be going live either 30 or 45 minutes before the actual draft starts. That's going to be myself, Purple and SKOL'd Media, Purple Pocket Podcast, Purple and Gold for Days, Justin Day, Minnesota Sports Talk, Dave is going to be on there, and GG Sports, Jamie and Casey. And we're also going to have some special guests too. I got 2 locked in already, and I'm working on a couple more. And hell, we might even have you guys hop on here and there for a little bit just to get your guys an insight, for before that 23rd pick, or it could be later. Who knows? But we're gonna have fun with it, y'all. We're gonna pour up. We're gonna smoke up. We're going to chill. We're going to talk our shit. And it's going to be a good night, man. Even though we may not even pick in the first round. Who knows? But yeah, man, it's going to be a good night. Be sure to tune in for Draft Mania night one of the NFL draft to take in that first round pick. Can't wait, man. I can't wait.
Nano said, Nano, you funny as hell. Yeah, hey, he said, how pissed would PPP, Triple P gang be when the
Oh
Vikings draft
man.
Tanner Brown? I'm going to be real pissed. I'm going
Are
to
we
be
gonna get
real
right
pissed.
down to it? Are we gonna right down to it to this Tanner McKee shit?
Like, Tanner McKee is garbage, bro. Like, garbage, hot garbage, bro. Like,
Look,
I'm going to be mad as hell. I hate how he throws the ball.
talk your shit.
Listen, you know what's
Talk your
crazy?
shit.
And I'm
Talk your
going to
shit.
let you cook real quick,
Nah,
SK. But
talk your
let
shit.
me
This
tell
is
you what's
good.
crazy, though. Like, and I ain't even about to mention nobody. I'm just saying, like, I actually took my time out to go and watch some of the tape, bro. I just said, you know what? I'm going to just watch some tape on him real quick. Man, I made it through like probably 6 minutes and I said, bro, I'm done with this guy. Like, straight up, like, why did you even meet with this kid? Like, I mean, nothing personal against him, bro. Like, he's just not going
Yeah.
to be good. Like, I mean, it's just straight up. He's not. Like,
Well, no, I mean, from just the perspective of anybody that wants to get the next generational type of quarterback, they don't want a Kirk Cousins type quarterback, regardless of what you feel about Kirk Cousins. We're moving into the era of your quarterback's got to be mobile, and it's not necessarily you got to be first to run and then be a decent thrower, but it's you got to be able to run. You got to be able to say in your head, look, this is time for me to take off. And Kirk Cousins doesn't have that sometimes.
yeah.
So why are you going to bring in a guy that's just like Kirk Cousins?
Bro, he might be less. He might not even be as athletic as Kirk Cousins, to be honest with you. Like, I'm gonna tell you right now, Kirk Cousins might be more athletic than him.
Wait a minute, is that rap calling Kirk Cousins athletic?
Boy, Kirk Cousins might be like Mike Vick compared to that motherfucker.
I said this a month ago and got crucified. Got crucified by my man Rap because I said Kirk Cousins could be athletic. But anyway,
listen, I don't think Kirk Cousins is athletic. I'm just saying that Tanner McKee compared to Tanner McKee, like, yeah, you might can throw him in that boat compared to Tanner McKee. Like Tanner McKee, bro, go look at how he throws the football too, bro. Like, oh my gosh, bro, like he's annoying, man.
No, the most outrageous thing that I saw, it's like, okay, if it came down to where I don't want us to draft this guy really at all, please, I think it's just kind of a waste of a pick.
Oh yeah,
but if it came down where you scoop the guy in the 5th, 6th round, like I'm not gonna be enraged. Like, okay, you're getting a younger quarterback to throw in the mix. We know he's not the future. Use 5th, 6th round pick on him. Now I'm not even gonna give this person credit. I saw somebody posting that has, I guess has somewhat significance on Twitter. Posting that Tanner McKee could be a possibility for the Vikings at 23. And I threw up in my mouth like 3 times reading that tweet saying the Vikings may take Tanner McKee at 23.
And had the nerve to call it a sleeper, a steal, a steal of a deal at 23.
Look, I'm going to tell you right now, if we draft Tanner McKee at 23,
bro, I quit.
We're shutting this whole shit down.
We're shutting the whole shit down.
We're shutting it all down. We ain't on YouTube anymore.
I'm coming to Triple P, man. We're going to have to pick another team, bro. And look, we just got to pick another team, man. We're going to go get new decorations for the backdrops. We just going to have to, you know what I'm saying? We doing all that. We doing
all of that. No, that is not a possibility. There is no way in hell the Minnesota Vikings draft Tanner McKee at 23. I don't care. There's no way in hell. There's so much more talent out there and so much more positions of need that the Minnesota Vikings have. Even if you get to the 23rd pick and there's already 4 or 5 quarterbacks taken off the board, even if Hendon Hooker's taken off the board at that point, draft the position of need. Go out there and get one of the top receivers in the draft. Go out there and get one of the top corners in the draft. Go out there and get an interior defensive lineman that you need to fill that starting position for. I'm not even in the position where we need to draft a quarterback in the 1st round right now, unless one falls to us. So this whole Tanner McKee at 23, that shit is fun. Like,
and it's crazy too, because the person, we're not gonna say no name, but the person said, "Oh, I see so many similarities with him and Kirk Cousins, so he definitely would be a steal at 23." Like, yo, like, come on, man, like, go slap yourself, bro. Like, seriously. Hey, look, shout out to everybody in the chat too, man. You know, we see Dante,
Yes,
man. I
sir.
see you, Dante. I know I said I was gonna get you on tonight, Dante, but me and SK, we just vibing out on. We trying to do this on Purple and SKOL'd. We just tagged it to my channel too, but you know,
We can
Dante,
always
the
we can
DJ.
always tap in with the phone calls too. Don't worry, I'm getting to all you guys' comments too. Slowly
Yeah,
but
for sure.
surely. I
Or
talk
SK,
a
if you
lot,
want to
so.
bring Dante on when we do the mock or something, he like to be
Yeah,
honest with you, the
most
chat be
definitely.
loving his ass. If he got time, if
Just
not, man, we'll
send
rock.
them the link.
Yeah,
Send them the link.
I'll shoot him the link if you
link.
want to jump in because he knowledgeable.
Send
He be
them the
talking his
link.
shit. I'm my boy.
Yeah, we're here, man.
Be real. That's why I was
We're
gonna
all
reach
here
out
for
to
the
do.
same
That's why I was gonna
reason.
reach out to do our damn intro and shit. But you know, now that we on, you know, shit, we'll wait till that time come. Hold
Hey
on,
man, it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. What's up,
Hey,
East
but
Coast
yeah, man,
Gridiron?
that news right there is funny, man. Drop a L in the chat for the person that popped
No,
that
drop a toilet emoji. Drop a toilet emoji
drop the
or the
toilet
shit
emoji in
emoji.
the chat, bro. Like seriously, man, we not
The
doing
shit
that on
emoji.
this.
Something.
Like
That's
for real, that shit
that's
makes
the
no
worst
sense.
take I've seen. Let no more Tanner McKee talk. Let's not even give Tanner McKee the time of day. Now we're gonna look like terrible people if we end up going out there and drafting Tanner McKee in like the 6th round, and we're probably gonna hate us. But who cares? Tanner McKee. We're gonna rest in peace that talk. We're gonna put that to rest right now.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
let's
Because
get some
that
more
shit
of
is
these
not worth it.
comments.
Like honestly, especially if like DTR or somebody's there, like come on, man. Like you can get. I mean, if you can get DTR.
Oh no, that's looking like my realistically. If we're looking at realistic possibilities, that's my probably second or third option as far as quarterback. Probably second. I like Hendon Hooker, but I wouldn't be mad with DTR even if it comes in the 3rd round. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. Not one bit. Not one bit. Especially sitting a year behind Kirk Cousins. Not necessarily behind Kirk Cousins, but just sitting for a year, getting used to this offense, and then you have time to really kind of have a transition into the type of offense that DTR actually runs, because you're not going to be able to run the same type of offense with a guy like DTR that you do with Kirk Cousins. There's no way. And that's no knock against DTR. That's no knock against Kirk Cousins. They're just two different types of quarterbacks. You're going to have to run more of a
hold on real quick.
a Kyler Murray type thing. Yeah, you're good. You're going to have to run more of a Kyler Murray type offense, and that's just what it is. But okay, Mike Sports Vibes, we got this. This is a good question right here. Do you think we'll trade up or trade down? Gut feeling. My gut feeling, I think this is gonna actually be what's actually gonna happen. If you were to ask me if I was a betting man, I think the Vikings are gonna trade down. I think that's just what it is, unless one of these top quarterbacks or possibly, a top prospect falls to them at 23. I just think they're in a position where they want to get a little more draft capital, and not having a 2nd round pick, that's a big deal. I think we want a 2nd round pick, and I wouldn't be surprised if we move out of the 1st round completely. My bad, Rap. I muted you because you had some background noise. You're back,
my
though.
bad. Yeah. I was talking to my damn kids, man. I keep fucking hearing the door slam like every 2. I'm like, yo, like what are they doing out there, bro? Like,
hey
seriously.
man, it's that daddy life. It's that daddy life.
Like the door done closed like 20 times in that little 2-minute spurt there. Sorry, guys. You damn kids, man.
But
damn.
Mike Sports Vibes had a question I just kind of answered on my end. Do you think we'll trade up or trade down? Gut feeling. I said we trade down. I think that's the most likely scenario.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like I think we'll probably trade down, but I would rather us stay put where we are and pick a good football player. Like that's what I would rather do. You know what I mean? Because a 2nd round pick isn't that important to me, only because we got TJ Hawkinson. But DTR though, like if you like DTR, you need to go watch Dante's video. He did a video that's called Sliders. He has a series he's doing, man. It's fire. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Skull Mafia in the building, man. But yeah, like that, Dante definitely a savage with the production, man. For sure. But yeah, man.
Okay,
I would definitely trade. I think they would trade down. But I mean, in my opinion, man, this is my thing, man. I just wanna stay put and get a good football player, bro. Like I really do. You know what I'm saying? Like I would rather get one good football player in the first round, like a first round talent, rather than get like 3 or 4 or 5, or just say 3 more picks. But yet out of those 3 picks, only one of them are actually going to turn into maybe a decent football player. I'd rather try to go for more of the sure thing. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, no, I'm there with you too. But we got East Coast Gridiron. I'm always here for criticism. I'm gonna bring you guys' comments up all the time. So first he said, SK, how much have you watched DTR? He's not a Kyler Murray at all.
Yeah.
He's not a run first quarterback. He's more of a pocket guy, contrary to the belief. I wasn't necessarily referring to him as a run first quarterback, but I'm looking at his skill set. I do understand he's a lot more of a pocket passer than a Kyler Murray is, but he brings that skill set of being a guy that can run, and that you want to use that to your, to your advantage. So I think that's where I'm at with DTR. You're not going to bring him in to just be a pocket passer. You're going to bring him in to, do what you do with your arm, but we're also going to want you to run around a little bit. We're going to have some plays drawn up for you that are going to be run plays. So that's where I'm kind of referring to the difference of what the offense is going to look like with Kirk Cousins and what it's going to look like with DTR. DTR isn't the run first guy. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying he has the capability to run. He has the speed. He has the agility. We're going to want to use that at the next level because we don't have that with Kirk Cousins. And I think that's one of the biggest criticisms that we do give Kirk Cousins is that he doesn't run. He may have a little bit of speed and enough speed to run or enough agility to run, but he doesn't use that to his advantage. Now in the NFL nowadays, you want a quarterback to use that to their advantage. DTR is a guy that you're going to want to use that to your advantage, plain and simple.
Right. Facts. What I meant to ask you too, like when you said Kyler Murray, because me and Day actually, when we did our show, I'm thinking like, damn, SK did compare him to Kyler Murray, and I thought you were talking about because of his height, like, but he's way taller than Kyler Murray. He's 6'1". They actually got him closer to 6'2". He's actually closer.
Kyler Murray's 5'10", right? Or they list him as 5'10"?
Yeah, I thought Kyler Murray's short as hell. I thought he was like 5.
No, they're very close in size.
Oh, okay, because I'm like,
they're very close in size. I'll pull it up right now, but I'm pretty sure they're really close in size.
I think Kyler Murray might weigh a little more, to be honest with you, because he's a little thicker. Kyler Murray, a little short, stocky motherfucker. Like he got some weight.
Well, I mean, he's also older too. Once you hit the NFL, you get on certain diet plans, especially with the organization and franchise like this, who is number one in the NFL when it comes to meals and workout routines and whatever it is. We got an A in practically everything. Yeah. So when guys get to the NFL, if they need to put on weight, they need to put on some muscle. Those teams are going to make sure they put on that weight and they put on that muscle. So they're not just going to let a guy walk around at 160 pounds behind a questionable offensive line like we have. There's no way in hell. So I'll pull up those sizes right now. But we got another question too, or kind of a comment from JJ. Did y'all hear about the potential trade up to 3? Did you hear about that, Rat?
So I mean, I heard there was one article that said we're like a dark horse, just like we're a dark horse in everything. Like we're a dark horse in the Lamar race, we're a dark horse in everything. You know what I'm saying? Like the Vikings, we just dark horse, But I would love for it to happen if they felt like their guy was in this draft. Like I'm always okay with taking a risk. You feel me? Because my thing is this: like let's say we don't do it this year, right? Mm-hmm. Well, what's going to happen is next year, we're going to be pretty much close to the same position that we're in now. You know what I'm saying? Like we're going to be pretty much in a position we're in now. And then next year, we'll have fans saying the same thing. Well, I don't know if I want to give up, three first rounders for Caleb Williams if he's right there, or Jordan Travis or Drake May. We're going to say that's too expensive. I don't know if I want to do that. How about we trade back and get whatever other guy that's a tier 2 type quarterback, man? Eventually you have to take your shot. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like you can't keep settling and keep trading back to get the second tier type guys, man. We need to go for one of these premium guys eventually. So you either trade 3 first rounders this year and do it, or you trade 3 first rounders next year and do it. So whatever year makes you feel better, hey, it's cool with me. You know what I mean? Just make sure you do it. You feel me? That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
no,
I
I
like
agree.
the Trey Lance too, though.
No, I agree with you. It's this year or next year. We're not waiting any longer. We're planning to make a big move, whether that be a trade, whether that be drafting a young franchise quarterback, which I think that's what Kwesi and KOC are leaning towards. That's what everybody's leaning towards in the NFL nowadays. They want a young, talented quarterback that they can build the best possible team around. So I think that's the direction we're headed in. And I think that's what the majority of this fan base is ready to see. So the trade up is coming. It's coming. Whether it's this year or whether it's next year, the trade up is coming. Now, if I was going back to what I think is going to happen, if I was a betting man, I think the Vikings trade back and possibly trade out of the first round this year and find a way to get draft compensation for next year.
Right.
And try to possibly move up in that first round next year. Now,
I can see that.
I wouldn't be surprised if one of these quarterbacks falls out of the top 10, say a Richardson and a Will Levis fall out of the top 10. I wouldn't be surprised if we trade up to 10 with the Eagles and grab one of those quarterbacks. I wouldn't be surprised one bit. Because Tennessee, if there's a quarterback, if one of those quarterbacks is there, Tennessee's grabbing them. So if you're going to trade up for one of these top quarterbacks, you're going to have to get up there 9 or 10. You're going to have to trade with the Eagles. You're going to have to get ahead of Tennessee. So I don't know, man, but these next two off seasons, whether it's this year or next year, we're making a move for a young franchise quarterback. So I think that's what we're so excited about. We're ready to see that. I'm ready to see that.
Shout out to Timmy in the building, man. I see you, Timmy. What's happening? Shout out Timmy, man. Shout out Dylan in the building. I see you, man. I see everybody in the building. Be well. Viking Jerome, I see you, baby. Jazz in the building, man. In the Zoe, I see you, man. Ryan, what's up with you? What's up with you? Appreciate everybody tapping in tonight. You already know that, man. We
hey, appreciate you, Dylan, man. Look, a lot of people don't give me love. I appreciate that.
Shout out SK in the house, man.
We all know it's a party with SK in the house. I appreciate you, man. Nobody shouts me out. I'm just the guy in the corner.
My boy, give my boy SK some love, man. I'm my boy, man. Shout out SK, man.
Hey, so it looks like we got Dante on. You want to just do a quick mock while we have Dante on, or you just want to chop it up a little bit? Yeah, he's in the building.
Add him in. We can still talk with Dante. Yeah, just add him in. He cool as hell. He'll just rock with us, man. The chat love Dante, man.
What up, guys?
Dante?
What's up, man? I said, man, Purple family love Dante anyway, man. He can just kick it with us, man. If he ain't got something going on anyways. Usually he got his own shit going on. So
he got them Bears colors on though, man.
It's Senior Bowl.
Okay, there we go.
His Reese's colors.
Hey, you missed it. SK one night I tap him in and he got a fucking Green Bay hat on. Was it the Green Bay Dante or was it?
I just bought like a couple hats because I collect jerseys, so I want the hats to go with it. What the fuck is going on?
Right. Yeah, I tap him in one night. SK, this man got the Green Bay hat on.
I didn't mean to, man.
Oh no, we're gonna lose subscribers and shit.
I didn't mean to.
But yeah, man, how you been though, man?
Been working.
Yeah,
for sure. I just put out the Bijan Robinson joint not too long ago.
Oh, the slider. Yeah, I gotta go watch that. So SK, what I was telling you about the DTR, when we get off of here, man, you need to check out the sliders. He does a series, man. The production is crazy. How he breaks down the players is crazy, man. Like for real. Okay. Everybody in the chat. Like, make sure y'all go look at his DTRs. It's called Sliders, right, Dante? The series. Yeah, just click on his page, look under videos, and you'll see it, man. That shit is crazy.
What's your page, Dante? So I can pin it or something in the
matter of fact, I'll pin the video. Yeah, like let me see.
I got you. I'll put it in the private chat.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and like pin the just do the DTR one real quick, Dante.
The DTR one? Hold on, I got you.
Yeah. And then they can from there, they can, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
From there, they can subscribe and all that good shit. Yeah, man. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That shit was such a good watch. It's crazy because I watched that shit at like 3 a.m. Like I woke up randomly and was just chilling and that shit popped up. Dante was up playing fucking
like that sometimes.
Dante was up playing fucking March Madness or playing NCAA or some crazy shit, and I see like Yogi and there's a couple of us over there. And I'm like, yo, let me go watch this DTR shit real quick. That shit was crazy as hell.
Yeah, bro. The NCAA thing is slowing down now because I got this is my baby. We're doing this series, man.
Oh yeah, that series crazy, bro.
Yeah. The next one is gonna be Zay Flowers. So.
Hey, but how you feel? So how you feel about the Vikings? Do you think we should trade up or trade down? Like, what do you think? What do you think we should do, Dante? How you feel about that?
Well, it depends on what you guys really want, you know. So
first of all, we don't want Tanner McKee. I know that.
Tanner McKee is probably going to go undrafted, so people are bugging at that.
Why do we visit him, man? Like,
I heard he's a sleeper at 23, from what I heard.
Yeah, for people that don't watch college football.
Why did we set up a visit with him, bro? Like, that shit makes no sense, dog. Like,
the thing is, diligence. It happens. That's
the thing is like, again, this is why I always preach, like, go watch the full games or any game film that you can watch, because when you watch the highlights, they're called highlights for a reason. It's going to show the best plays. Like when I did the Bijan Robinson tape all last night, like, dude, I got notes upon notes upon notes of every single snap that he took, because I look at the block and I look at how he catches in the backfield. I look at his situational awareness. Like, if you're running a route and you know that the quarterback is running, are you trying to find somebody to put hands on so you can make space for the dude? At least do something. Yeah. Those are the type of things you don't see unless you watch that stuff. So when people are like, oh, yeah, Tanner McKee's good. Well, what did you watch? Because the dude had Michael Wilson and Elijah Higgins, who are really underrated wide receivers. Like, in my top 5 receivers, at number 5 is Michael Wilson. The dude is a monster, and nobody talks about him either. And you know me, Rap, I don't have the most popular top 5 ever, because I don't go by the popular opinion. I like, Bijan Robinson is number 5 in my top 5 running backs. But consensus all the way across the board, oh, he's generational. We're doing ourselves a disservice, first of all. Yeah. And we also are doing a disservice to the player, because now he's going to have a ton of pressure on his shoulders to come in the league, and whatever team he gets drafted by, they're going to look for that, and it's either going to be career suicide for him, or it's going to be, if he comes out and just does great, then it's going to be great for him. So, but we do that more often with quarterbacks, right? Happens with quarterbacks all the time. I don't have Anthony Richardson or Will Levis in my top 5, but I had DTR as my number 5 quarterback, and people are like, why? But then when you watch exactly my breakdown on everything, and the reason why it's called Sliders is, like, I got the idea, like, literally, I'm like, man, if you I watch the quarterback room a lot. I like JT O'Sullivan. I used to play quarterback, you know, and coach quarterbacks and coach on the team. So everything he says makes sense. And I'm like, I understand, you know, the plays that he's talking about. I understand when he's talking about the sticks, you know, formation and things like that. But for the normal football watcher, they don't know, like, a 3-by-1 and how that works, or 11 personnel and how that's really effective in that scheme and things like that. So, and then you also have the guys, and this drives me nuts. You also have the guys that make videos on all the players, and they're like, yeah, I really like this guy because he's really good. He has really strong hands, and it's like, and it's just like, it's a bunch of skid bait.
Talk about me. He talk about me, y'all. He talk about me, man.
No. But I will say, DTR, the thing that really got on my nerves, and not to call out Dave, but he was reading off a report that had DTR is not shifty. And I'm like, Dave, you have to, I understand you're reading off a report, but even that report's wrong, because I just showed, remember in the video Rap, I showed you 2 clips of him being absolutely electric with the ball.
He had a nasty tug again. I forgot who was against, but he made.
Yeah, Dante, you left out the real fire one where he made 2
dudes smack each other at the goal line. He just walked in the end zone and stared him down.
Well, the one so many to pick from. That's why Dante only picked 2.
But I picked 2, for example. I picked that one because it was just a nice, like, versatile run that he made. But the second one, people are like, why'd you pick that? He had did this run to the sideline, and he knew that the 2 linebackers were coming. He was already on the far side hash marks, and he takes the ball and he goes like this. He puts it out to get to a couple of different yards, because he know the linebackers weren't going to tackle him out of bounds, or that was going to be a penalty. So it's like, that's smart. He made himself really small and he utilized his size, but I like that. And that's the type of stuff, like, you go to other people's page that don't really cerebrally, like, watch film like me. They don't know why that's important. So it looks like I was, like, really, really nitpicky with a lot of things. It's because you have to. Because some throws that he makes are not NFL throws yet. Like the one to Jake Bobo that was just a crossing route. and the guy was like right on him. But if that cornerback was fast enough and put a hand in there, it's either a pick six or an incompletion altogether.
Yeah.
So it's like you got to be super critical about this stuff. So that's why the slider series started. It was like, how can I visually understand or help somebody understand what I look at personally, not what everybody else is looking at when I evaluate players. And then I have like a little sliding scale like on Madden, you know, like you can slide the sliders. Yeah. That's why it's called sliders. Yeah, that's why it's called sliders. So, but it's kind of like it's in between you not having to know all the X's and O's, but it makes you feel like after that, like, oh man, I feel like an NFL scout now. I know what to do when I look at players. So it's kind of an educational
I can go through my video and be like, man,
so I got a couple. Well, first point, real quick, just on DTR, I liked what I saw just from his progression over his time at UCLA. Because I remember when he first came in as a freshman, and he looked rough. It was rough. It was rough for DTR to start with. But you saw him progress every single year under Chip Kelly. And I don't necessarily think it was just the scheme either. Just like you said, he had those times where he showed those flashes of just being a smart player to where, okay, I can squeeze in between this, stick the ball. I have just enough room to stick the ball out. Like he's a smart player. And I saw that progress throughout his entire time at UCLA. You have a question right here. I do want to know your top 5 quarterbacks in the draft. But I do have a personal question for me because obviously you're knowledgeable on this and you do your study, your film study. Is that just were you kind of just brought up just playing football, or did you go through an actual scouting like establishment to learn how to do this type of stuff? So what's your background on what you do?
So started out 4 years old, always was playing football. When I was in high school, I was in the media guy and things like that. And I stopped playing football my senior year. I moved to North Carolina to kind of get to know my family a little bit more. So I kind of left my athletic career behind. I was way better at, I don't want to say way better, but my better sport was lacrosse. But I mean, I was on the all-state team twice. I don't know if you see the Maryland flag behind me. We had to take pictures with these Maryland flags at M&T Bank Stadium at the Ravens Stadium, played the game. So I mean, I was pretty good. My thing is always like, it was my height, but I was more on like a spiritual journey to kind of get to know like my family and my dad and everything. So kind of left my playing career behind, which I kind of almost regret now. But so after that, I really like football, always have. Every job that I've ever been at, people are like, hey man, what's your thoughts on this? And I'm like, you know, I have a different outlook on every single player that's in the NFL. I don't have the popular opinion. And a lot of people are like, you should start a podcast because, you know, what you're saying makes sense, and you kind of made me look at things in a different direction. And it's okay by not being popular, because I always say you might have a different outlook in the things that you like, and I have a different outlook, but quarterbacks is my thing. So the only quarterback that I've been wrong about in like the last 15 years was Cam Newton. Cam Newton kicked my ass when he got into the league because I thought he was going to be trash. But I mean, I called out the Jalen Hurts thing. I mean, all the quarterbacks that Malik Willis is a good one because I see that in the comments. I said he was going to be absolute dog shit, and he is. So, I mean, it's like, but coaching, and I coached a couple quarterbacks. There's a quarterback at South Carolina that I helped coach from up here. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I was asking because I've been going through like the scouting academy, and just the way you talk, it shows that like you know what you're talking about. Like you.
I mean, if you want to get into the X's and O's,
like how a real scout gets down to it, like just the verbiage that you're using and stuff, like it shows, like you know what you're talking about.
And I went to the Senior Bowl earlier this year, so that kind of got me into like the media side. That's where I got this shirt from and everything. I mean,
he was supposed to give us a pass, SK, man. I told him to send.
I was supposed to be there this past year as well. I was supposed to be there this past year as well, so I might be there next year. So I just got to finish this course. So I might be there.
Hey, so after this, man, Triple P, man, we having seminars, man. We teaching y'all how to scout. You know what I'm saying? Hey, $20, man, $20 for an hour. $20, sign up. Drop the link down in the thing, man. We're gonna have a seminar. $20 to join, man. Let's get it.
So here's the question to you, Dante. Who's your top 5 quarterbacks in the draft, in your opinion?
Number 5, DTR. Number 4, Max Duggan. Number 3, Hendon Hooker. Number 2. CJ Stroud, and number 1 is Bryce Young. And the difference between number 1 and number 2 is a big ass gap. I'm just letting you know.
So that is that top 5 with how you think they are right now as they're getting drafted, or what they're going to be in the future?
I think about the whole aspect, right? So, because people always have their different criteria, so I consider everything. The interesting thing about CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, for people that don't know, they're both California kids that came over and played on the East Coast. That's crazy.
Yeah, they're from. I live in the same town. I saw him play in high school. So I saw them play each other in the state championship that year. So I think CJ Stroud was Rancho Cucamonga, and Bryce Young was John Bosco, I believe. St. John Bosco. I may be wrong on the school. But
that doesn't sound right.
I might be wrong. Or was it Modern Day? It might have been
Modern Day. I believe it's Modern Day. Yeah.
It was Modern Day. And Modern Day ended up beating Rancho Cucamonga just because they had the better overall team. But no, it's crazy. I'm a Michigan fan. So I wanted CJ Stroud in Michigan. He decided to go to Ohio State. So I have a little gripe with him.
I'm mad that you guys got rid of Cade McNamara and just let him walk, because I can't stand JJ McCarthy. I can't stand that kid.
I love Cade, but you had to move on, man. Yeah, you had to move on.
Hey, I'm telling you right now, if I'm not right about
Monte, I'm a Michigan fan too, man.
Oh well,
I was gonna be better. I was gonna be better with him, and with God, I forgot the tight end's name. Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you right now, SK, and rap, both of y'all Michigan fans, this is my bold prediction for college this year. Cade McNamara is going to have a hell of a better season than JJ McCarthy. He's training with Jordan Palmer too right now. And the one thing about Cade McNamara, and you know this, is he was so hesitant. But they never had a quarterback like Cade McNamara either. So.
Who's calling the plays? Who's calling the plays for Iowa? That's what it really is going to – because I believe in Cade McNamara. I know we're getting into college talk now.
Yeah.
I believe in Cade. Cade's a baller, dude. Like, there's no doubt about it. But who's going to be calling those plays? Because –
they're a defensive team.
They are. But that offense has been rough for years and years and years. So I don't know. I hope he balls out, just not against Michigan.
Yeah, I think he's going to ball out. I think he changes the tide at least this year for that team, and I think people are going to
better team for sure.
I mean, Cade McNamara. The thing about him is he was just so hesitant. He didn't like to risk anything, and JJ McCarthy does. And sometimes you get further with the guy that takes more risk than you do with the guy that's conservative. But Jordan Palmer right now is getting that dude's mind right to launch things because he's got the better arm. He's smarter. I think Iowa takes a step up. I think they end up in the Big Ten championship.
Yeah. Did you have Hendon Hooker? Did you have Hendon Hooker on your top 5?
Number 3, right?
Yeah, he was number 3.
I see he's number 3. Okay.
I love Hendon Hooker, man. People might say in the comment section, "What about his age?" I don't care about that at all.
That's not my concern.
This like my same thing with Muhammad Ibrahim.
You would take him at 23? You would take him at 23?
I wouldn't take him at 23 because of his injury. So when we saw him at the Senior Bowl, that injury is way worse than what you think it is. He's got a full leg brace.
Oh, shit.
Not a knee brace. He's got a full leg brace. It's worse than what you think it is. And him traveling around, I commend him on this, though. He travels around everywhere and tries to be involved. That's one thing that I always would give him his praise for. Like, he's always trying to be around football. But it's one of those things, it's like, if your injury's that bad, you need to stay and rehab that thing and get yourself ready. Because what he's doing is he's prolonging his time to be ready at the next level. So I would risk a second-round pick. He was a first-round pick for sure if he didn't get hurt. Absolutely.
My concern with him is that offense, it was a lot of half-filled reads from what I've seen. And I know you probably did a whole lot more film study than I did.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time it was just he was reading half the field, and the other half the receivers were just kind of just jogging, just kind of running their man off. So that's my concern with Hendon Hooker.
But what happened when he was hurt though? What happened to Tennessee as soon as he went down?
Oh yeah, well yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'm not taking away from because I think he's a great prospect either way. But that would be my only concern over the age and maybe even over the injury is that most of the time it looked like he was just reading half the field. Now, can that translate into the NFL? Can he breed a full field against an NFL defense. That would be my main concern.
There's no fluke on why Josh Heupel got him ready to go. Josh Heupel was a former Heisman runner-up. That dude barely lost the Heisman when he was quarterback at Oklahoma. Had UCF in an undefeated season, moved on, came to Tennessee, and Tennessee has been dog shit for years.
Yes, they have since Manning.
And he brought them back to prominence. And if Hendon Hooker was still playing that, and the thing that we can't take away is when they went down, you have to account for the leadership aspect too, because I don't think Joe Milton was ready to lead that team towards the end. I think Joe Milton is going to surprise people because that dude's arm is ridiculous.
He's got a cannon, dude.
It's crazy. I'm dang, I ain't never seen nothing like this.
He's a senior coming up this year, right?
I believe so because he played in Michigan too. Remember, he was dog shit at Michigan.
But the one thing he did have is he could run a little bit, and he had a cannon.
Big kid. He's
and
big
he had a
shit
cannon on him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he finds a way to get in the conversation as one of those top 5, top 7 quarterback prospects in next year's draft, just off, arm strength. That's such a popular thing in the NFL. Josh Allen, not saying those are bad prospects and they just had big arms, but that's one thing that gets these scouts in their eyes go, oh, he's got a cannon.
Well, that's what happened with Anthony Richardson, but this is the thing. I feel like every single year there's more people that watch the combine and overblow this shit because there's a person every single year that hits the ceiling in the indoor facility when they're throwing the ball. I mean, it's crazy. I'm like, oh, you showing a clip of Anthony Richardson doing it? But to go back to Joe Milton for a second, Joe Milton is a better version of Anthony Richardson and Cam Newton. I'm calling that shit right now. By the end of last season, man, I'm telling you, I've never seen somebody with a gun like that. His arm is ridiculous.
He has a ridiculous. I don't know if you remember him back at Michigan, Rap, but he wasn't very good. But the dude,
he couldn't read a defense to save his life
at all. But he would fire it in there with like the velocity that I haven't seen before. But real quick about DTR, the thing that concerns me about DTR. And we don't have to spend too much time on this. We can get this mock draft going. By the way, if y'all want this mock draft, man, look, we got about 40 people in this live right now. I got 4 likes. I'm looking at 4 likes on this video right now. So if y'all want a mock draft, I'm gonna need you guys to get that up to 10. I'm gonna be mean about it. All right, I'm gonna be mean about it. Get those likes up to 10. That's 6 people. Go hit those like buttons. But DTR, I feel like a lot of the time it lacks his throws lack a little bit of zip. Am I tripping? Is that just me or?
To me, this year what he showed us he was more consistent. So I think Josh Heupel being the head coach, just like I think with Doug Peterson and Trevor Lawrence too. You know what I'm saying? Having a quarterback guy as your coach. He's going to spend a little bit more time with Jimbo Fisher when I know you guys hate Christian Ponder and stuff like that, or, he was a bust, but Christian Ponder was good at Florida State. E.J. Manuel was good at Florida State. Jameis Winston was great. He was our best quarterback we've ever, outside of Charlie, I'm going to draw on the blank on his name. Chris Winkie and why am I drawing a blank?
You said in Florida?
At Florida State.
Florida State. What year?
It was in the 90s. God, Chad, y'all probably know. But anyways, Charlie Ward. There we go. So those 3 were the best quarterbacks we've had since those guys, and they're all were first round picks. I wasn't a huge fan of E.J. Manuel, but he balled out. Wasn't a huge fan. I mean, I was big on Christian Ponder. I thought he was going to be really good for you guys, and that
was the one that got away, huh? That's the one you were wrong
about. some people just don't translate well to the NFL. It doesn't mean that they were terrible. It just means that maybe the system. Matt Castle is a perfect example. If he would have just stayed with New England, he and Tom Brady would have moved on, Matt Castle would have been a new Tom Brady. I truly believe that shit.
So you think? I mean, Tom Brady is the greatest of all time, but you think
he would have been good. He wouldn't have been on Tom Brady's level, but they would have won 10 to 12 games a year every single year.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Shit, even Garoppolo maybe in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Zoe in podcast says, so you thought Ponder was a first round talent? I'm a Florida State fan. I've watched every single Florida State game since I can remember.
Ponder was
Christian
a baller,
Christian
man.
Ponder was the shit, bro.
He was
I'm
a
not
baller.
even gonna lie. There was a reason why he got
Exactly.
picked. And he was a great leader and he was a great teammate too.
Yeah.
And people don't give him credit for that. And I remember when he came up to you guys, the one thing that the Vikings did like about him is the front office was like, they loved his interview ever since the combine. They was like, that's our guy. That's our guy. That's our guy. Didn't matter what any other quarterback did. They said, if you're following to us, you're gonna get picked. So, I mean, just is what it is. Go look at his numbers.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna speak too much about Christian Ponder. Go look at his numbers. He was a baller, bro.
Yeah, he was a baller
was.
for sure.
And he was more mobile than what people gave him credit for too. So
it's just bad timing when he got here, and bad things happen. You know what I mean?
and same thing can happen to CJ Stroud and Bryce Young, regardless of how I think Bryce Young is. I told you, I don't care about the size, but Bryce Young is the best quarterback by far, and his draft is not even close.
Facts.
But he could go to a system and be doo-doo berries.
And that's how I always say. I always say the system plays such a big part in the style of quarterback you are. Huge part, man. Like, and and that's why I think we did so good with Case Keenum in 17. I said, and then when he went to the Broncos in 18, people were like, see, he went to the Broncos and wasn't the same quarterback. And I'm like, bruh, a lot of times, like, it's just like Nick Foles wasn't the same quarterback when he went and played for the Jaguars, like at the end of the day, sometimes the locker room matters, man. The scheme matters. You know what I'm saying? So
rookie
don't
quarterbacks,
fix it if it's not broke, man. Stop doing that.
a lot of 90% of rookie quarterbacks that come in the NFL are sitting behind a veteran, right? And sometimes it makes the veteran step up, and then we're like, well, I mean, y'all draft DTR? Kirk Cousins might take y'all to the damn Super Bowl. You're going to be like, well, I'm sorry, Kirk. You know what I'm saying? He's going to be like, I told y'all. But again, the better and deeper your rooms are, and the more pressure you put on people, the more they're going to perform. Right. That's why I wanted Matt Corral to come to Jacksonville for the longest time, because I knew at any given time that if Trevor fucked up, Matt could come in and turn the program around. And I still think he's my second highest rated quarterback ever that I've ever scouted. And people are like, what?
Who was that?
Okay. Matt Corral from Ole Miss. He went to the Panthers. Oh, wow. That's the guy that I told y'all should trade for. Y'all want somebody that's mobile but smart up here and got an arm, can make every single throw. He should be Kirk's successor.
Yeah.
The guy.
And he's been looking good. I've been seeing some practice clips of him. That leg is looking okay. He's looking better than he did when he got to training camp. Something happened with his leg. Yeah, something happened with his leg last year. I can't remember which injury he had, but he was out for the season. I believe he tore his ACL.
Shout out Crown in the building, man. I see you in a minute, man. Appreciate my boy tapping in tonight. Shout out Crown.
Yeah,
man.
everybody.
I seen D earlier too, man. I see y'all in the building, man. Ed, what's up?
D Will. I think D Will still might be in here. Bandito is in here. But yeah, everybody go over to the Purple and Skull page and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. That's probably why we're not getting all the likes here on this side. So go ahead and go over to the Purple and Skull page, hit that subscribe, hit that like, and also head over to Dante's page, man. I know I pinned the link, but what's the name of your page, Dante?
East Coast Gridiron.
Oh, you're East Coast Gridiron. Okay.
Yeah.
He's the man. That's the superstar, man, right there. SK. That's the one we're talking about. We're trying to get it.
Okay. Yeah, go over to East Coast Gridiron.
If you just type in Google East Coast Gridiron, all our stuff comes up.
Yeah. Go ahead and hit that.
We're on everything.
Like button. So we're gonna get this mock draft going, since we got the college football expert, and he's gonna give us the best Vikings draft possible. So I actually found a new draft or a mock draft.
We failed our last draft, didn't we, Dante? What did we get? Like they fucked us over last draft. They gave us like a D or some shit.
No, that's because you listened to somebody tell you to pick Tyreek Stevenson or something.
Yeah, you're right.
Like, bro. I was like, don't pick him, please. What are we doing?
I was like, man, for the chat, man.
Yo, Dylan, go to my page. We got a full film study, and I also have a film breaking down Max Duggan from a couple months ago. If you really know about him, I love Max,
really,
bro.
I know a lot of, and really, I think you might have been the one that put me on point too about the reason why he's not getting looked at as much as he should because of his heart issue. I know he has like a heart issue or something, right? which is kind of messed up. You know what I mean? That they wouldn't give him a shot because of that, but it's reality. You know what I mean?
What's bullshit is people don't mention him more because at TCU, so TCU went to the national championship this year, and they got the dog shit beat out of them by Georgia. We all know that. Yeah. But the thing is, what people don't, just like with Hendon Hooker, if you took Max Duggan away from that team, they are dog shit. Like, they lose at least 4 games last year. No Kendry Miller, no Quentin Johnson. We're just going to be able to help him out of that. He wasn't the starter the first week. Yeah. And he was a Heisman runner-up. He won the Maxwell Trophy for the best quarterback in the country. The dude was a beast, man. And people still underrate him. But there was games that definitely he had won, not only with the moxie and everything. The dude is awesome, man. I got nothing but good things to say about Max Duggan. People just say stuff to say stuff. That's what it is. I just noticed.
All right, so I got the draft simulator up. If it is a little laggy, let me know. I don't want it to be too. If it's too choppy, we'll use a different one. But this is the NFL mock draft database simulator. So I've been using it lately. It throws some curveballs, but it seems pretty realistic. So we're gonna roll with this one. And it allows trades and all that good stuff. So we're actually gonna name this one. We're gonna call it First Pocket Podcast, PNS.
Mr. I want to mock. Mr. I want to mock in the building, Bob, man.
Let's enter the draft room. Get going. So here's our setup. We have the 23rd, 87th, and 119 is our first 3 picks. Carolina's on the clock. You guys ready to start?
Let's get it, man.
All right, so I'm going to pause it at about pick 8 and see where we're at. I'm not big on trading up, but we're going to see what's up. So
let's get it.
Carolina, CJ Stroud. Right. All right, so I actually stopped at pick 11. Will Levis is the only quarterback on the board. I'm cool on trading up for Will Levis. I think just off your quarterback rankings, Dante, I think you're cool on trading up for him as well.
I think all of us cool on that.
So let it keep riding. Should I look to trade up any sooner, or what are you thinking, Dante?
Are these the available players here on the side?
Yes, these are the available. The top available: Will Levis, Peter Skornowski, which we're not looking at tackles, obviously.
What do y'all think y'all biggest need is? Take away the player. Take away the player. Just what position?
Corner, and interior defensive line.
Did Devin Witherspoon go?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah,
because that's the only player I would trade.
Joey
Joey
Porter is still there.
I'm trading up for Davon Witherspoon, boy. That dude is a savage. That dude different. Right, Dante, man. Listen, Dante, could you imagine Witherspoon getting picked up by the Jets, bro, at 13 with him and Sauce, bro?
That would be crazy.
Unfair, bro.
But I think there's a better cornerback in this draft.
Than Witherspoon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
His name is Clark Phillips from Utah.
Okay, Clark Phillips. He's small as hell, though. He's a slot, though, isn't he? Isn't he more of a slot cornerback?
Bro, Utah's defense was everything with him.
Yeah.
He was locking up people.
Who it looks like they have him as a 65th.
I wouldn't pick him here, though. I think he'll be there.
Yeah.
I think he'll be there at probably 87.
I think so.
Outside of corner.
You think he'll make it that far? I don't think Clark. His stock kind of rising a little bit, to be honest with you.
Outside of corner, our other needs would be interior defensive line and corner, and wide receiver. Those would be my 2 other top needs.
I say go to 23 and see who's available. Then we're not trading up for anything but a quarterback.
Yeah,
we ain't getting.
All
right, let's do it. Let's do this. All right, who's in order? Probably from 20 to 30. I forget the draft order.
20 to 30 is. Let me see if I can scroll over somehow. Okay, here we go. Cool. So
we're gonna get a little saucy here because I think that this would handle some of your problems.
Crown said get Cansey ASAP.
No.
Small,
Stay away from Cansey.
Too small. He's a baller, but you can't You can't pick him in the first round.
Stay away from him.
Okay, so pick 19 is Tampa Bay, 20 Seattle, 21 is the Chargers, 22 is Baltimore, and then we're 23.
Okay, keep going.
Okay, you're thinking about grabbing Levis, aren't you?
No, I don't want to grab Levis. No, it keeps. No, I was saying keep scrolling over.
Okay, so now we're at New England at pick 14, and Will Levis is still available.
Dylan said Clark Phillips is better than Joey Porter Jr.
That is true, bro. Charlie Jones is small as shit at Purdue, and he routed that dude up. The coaches made Joey Porter switch sides. He didn't cover him for half the game because Charlie Jones was like dogging him. We watched this shit last night. It was crazy. So we're going to do a trade here. Trade your 87th pick.
Okay.
And
okay, so let me see. Trade. I'm trading with the Patriots, correct?
Or
am I trading with another team?
Let's trade with another team, but let's scroll all the way to the end of this first round if you can. I want
to our 23rd pick.
Yeah, like all the way past that in the first round. I just want to see where everybody's picking.
Oh, okay. You want to see who's after us.
Yeah, I want to see the.
Okay, Jacksonville, Giants, Dallas, Buffalo, Cincinnati, New Orleans, Philly, and KC.
All right, so we're gonna trade with New Orleans because they're gonna need an edge.
Okay, so you want me to just let it play out to our pick now?
Yeah, we'll let it play out to the pick, but we're gonna trade that 87th pick coming up.
Okay.
We're gonna bulk up.
Oh wow, Emmanuel Forbes came off the board early. Okay, we got one trade offer from the Bears.
No, reject that.
Yeah, reject it. That's the only trade offer we got. Will Levis still on the board.
Damn.
Them
boys know he's garbage.
Realistically, I don't think the Vikings would pass if Will Levis is on the board here. Now we're not doing this. We're doing this as what we think is best, not what we think the Vikings are gonna do.
Yeah.
This is what this one's about. So I would think they take Levis if he's there, if it's them.
I don't know. I think he's going in the second round now.
Who, Will Levis?
You think he's in the second round? Is that the
he gonna pull a Willis. He gonna pull a Malik Willis, Malik Willis, isn't it? Or what's his name?
So you want to trade with New Orleans, right?
Yeah, let's trade with New Orleans.
Get their 29th.
Yep, and then we're gonna trade our third rounder. Well, we're not gonna trade our first. We're gonna keep the first. We're gonna pick somebody here, but we're gonna move up. We're gonna move up and get theirs. So trade the 87th, and then we're gonna trade Zadarius Smith to them. And then also we're gonna grab their third round pick there at 71.
Do this even let you trade players?
Yeah, I don't think this one's allowing.
Well, we'll just hypothetically say we'll hypothetically
just give up,
one of the late
like
picks or something.
Yeah, just give up like next year's first or something. Yeah, like just so they accept it, and we'll just say that.
Okay, so the third round pick, and then what else?
And then we're gonna do their third round pick, so we're gonna get 3 at 71 to move up there. Okay, and we'll give them Zadarius Smith, that's what they need.
Which we can't do, so just give them like a
first round pick or something. 2024 second rounder, which won't do it yet.
We'll just say that this is Zadarius Smith.
Yeah. Just give them whatever. You can give them a first round, just whatever they'll take, to accept it. We know what it is.
Why is it not? Do we not have a first rounder next year? Or it won't allow us to trade our first rounder. That's weird.
It's saying not enough.
Yeah.
Can you go to another year? Can you go to 2025?
Nah, it only lets me go to 2024.
You can't force trades on here? That's crazy.
Yeah, can't force trades, unfortunately. What if we do like somebody at 30? Are you trying to get right in front of the Jets here?
I mean, how are you going to trade with no players?
You want me to send you the y'all want to restart and let me send you the
do PFF because you can force it.
Yeah. I'm gonna send you the email and the stuff in the private chat real quick.
Okay, yeah. So no, I actually had a question on another player outside of the quarterback position. I'm big on Mozzie Smith, and not just because I'm a Michigan fan, but I think he'd actually be a really good fit for the Vikings. Have you done any film study or research on Mozzie Smith to where you can speak
Yeah,
on that?
I watched Mozzie Smith, and he's not my top 5. I can tell you that. No, I think so. What is
I
your
just
need?
text it to you, SK, real quick. Just look on your phone, sign it. Just go to the PFF and use that email, and that's the password.
Okay.
So, what is your need that you want from Mozzie Smith? And I bet you that there's somebody better.
Well, I mean, obviously it's the run stopping, and I'm sure you can get that from a guy like
Ika, Brian Breesy.
I was just about to say Ika, and then Breesy. I think Breesy's gonna go higher than Mozzie. I think.
Oh yeah, I think definitely.
Round.
So if both of those go, I'm telling you who you should go. Moro Ajamo from Texas. Run stopper.
That's who I've been
Swift.
mocking too.
Yep.
I've been mocking towards him as well. If Mozzie's not there, it's either Ika or I'll grab. I always forget how to say his name.
You know what Ika's nickname is?
What's that?
What is it? I think it's Putu. Is it Putu or something? I like his nickname, man.
Yeah, it's something like that. You know, he was part of the national championship teams for LSU.
Shout out Putu, man. We need Putu on the team, man. Bring Putu.
So he's a transfer.
Yep, he's a transfer.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep it real, man. These Samoans, man. Them boys turning up, and hey, them boys starting to learn this game like some savages, boy. They taking over.
You know who my number 1 linebacker in this class is?
Nah, man, these Samoans taking over, boy.
Noah Sewell from Oregon.
Telling you, man. Shout out.
Another Oos.
He's more of a run stopping linebacker, right? In the box linebacker, he's not much of a. He's very good in the pass coverage.
He does everything, man. There's the only thing that I would say he's slower compared to a lot of other linebackers, but as far as like pursuit, tackling ability, can play in coverage, can rush the quarterback, he checks all those boxes. It's like check, speed. That's the only thing he lacks. So, but that's God-given ability, you know.
Yeah.
So,
all right. So
man, listen, because like if the Viking, you know, it'd be lit. Like we got the skull chant, but if the Vikings did like a haka, bro, at the beginning of the games, bro, that shit would be fire. Like straight up, bro. Like that. I mean, we just
that would be weird. A Scandinavian mascot, and by having
doing the haka.
Polynesian dudes doing the haka, that'd be crazy.
We need that. The skull chant with the haka.
I'm telling you, man, we getting spicy out there.
Don't
boy.
get me started.
Yeah, Nano Joe said fire cam and hired Dante as the GM.
There you go.
Hey, let's go. All right,
did you get in there? Did you get in there, SK?
I'm in here. So we got. Do you want to mess with any of the advanced settings? The
just
randomness. No, just keep it as is.
Yeah, just keep it as is and just pick however many rounds you want to do.
7 rounds. I'm gonna slow the speed down a little bit, just in case we want to trade up. I'll put it right there in the middle. Right there is fine. All right.
And then you can share that screen. We can't see it.
No. Oh, I gotta put it up. That's right. There we go. All right, here we go. Enter draft.
All right, cool.
All
now
right,
we in
so
the game.
Good to go. Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Levis. Richardson came off. Witherspoon came off at 10 to the Eagles. I should have stopped it on the Eagles, but we're at Tennessee here. Let's see who's available. If I can look at who's available.
Witherspoon went all the way to the Eagles?
He went all the way to the Eagles.
That shit don't make no sense. But okay.
Yeah, it went Bryce Young, Stroud, Jalen Carter, Will Levis, Tyree Wilson, Will Anderson, Anthony Richardson to the Raiders, Christian Gonzalez to the Falcons, Peter Skornowski to the Bears, and then Witherspoon.
Okay.
So we don't need to trade up with the Titans, right?
No, let's keep the same vibe. Like we're gonna trade, like Dante said, we're gonna trade with New Orleans.
Yeah,
so
just wait
go to
till 23 then.
Yeah, go to our pick and we'll trade, get that 79th or something.
Kansas to the Lions at 18. Wow.
All right.
All right, so here we go. So let's go and
who's your opinion on Deonte Banks? What's your opinion on Deonte Banks? Who's available here?
I think Deonte Banks is good. He's very, very quick. He sticks on players like glue. He has the same issue that Riley Moss has. just not as physical as some other, corners. Like I actually have Riley Moss higher than him, but that's again, I'm not going off the popularity contest. But
Brian Greasy's also available here too.
I would say let's do the trade first, so we know that we get that. But we're gonna draft Brian Greasy right here. I don't think you pass up on him.
Okay, we do have trade offers.
They can offer whatever they want.
Bengals have the 28th pick here, so we'd only be moving back 5 spots. If we could possibly grab a 2nd round pick. Would you do it?
Nah, because I think what we have or what the Vikings have and what they need is totally opposite. So we wouldn't be doing ourselves any favor. Other than
Bandito said we're getting Matt Corral, so don't draft QBs.
All right, so go to the Saints here. If you do that drop down mini.
Or actually, just do this first. Do this first. Go ahead, draft Breesy real quick. SK, and then
we can do it
right
this way. We can do it this way.
Yeah, so there you go.
We want
their 29th. Right? No, we want their 29th. And we want their 71st. Yep. And then we're going to trade the 87th and Zadarius Smith.
Right? Okay.
Yep.
And then just force the trade if they
Yep.
Bye Zadarius.
I wonder if they accept it though. So do offer trade see if they accept it.
Maybe they will, right? Hold on, let me make sure I got it right.
I ain't accepting that shit.
Hell no. So we're gonna force it.
That's crazy that they wouldn't in real life, but yeah, force the trade.
Okay.
I think that they would in real life because they need another strong edge rusher next to.
Force the trade, and then we're gonna go Breesy here.
Yep, we're gonna go Breesy.
All right.
I ain't gonna lie, that would be kind of a.
So you're taking Breesy over cornerback, right? And Deontay Banks. All right. So we're going Breesy here.
You're gonna see what I'm about to do. I'm about to cook.
Cooking. Time to cook. Oh, I slowed it down a lot. Deontay Banks came off right after. Zay Flowers to the Cowboys. Guard from Florida to the Bills. Darnell Wright to Tennessee. Now we're back on the board.
Yep. Go to corners.
Emmanuel Forbes.
I do like Forbes.
I like Emmanuel Forbes here. Take him. Why not?
I like Forbes. That would be a big steal right there. But see who else? What other cornerbacks are on the board though right now? Is that it?
Let's go to corners.
If it's between him and Banks, I'm taking Forbes all day for sure.
Banks is already off. Banks is gone. It's Forbes, and the next corner available is Cam Smith.
Yeah,
I don't like Cam Smith.
I don't like Cam Smith either.
So Emmanuel Forbes is the right answer here, unless you want to go Clark Phillips. But
I mean, we could grab Clark Phillips too with how our cornerback room is looking. If I'm being completely honest,
let's see if he's there by the time we pick, because that's the reason why we traded up. We might be able to double up on corner. Yep.
Okay, so we're going Forbes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Going Forbes. All right, let me speed up this draft a little bit. Going all the way down to 71. Hendon Hooker off the board. I see where he went to though. Ika is off the board, but we already got Breesy. Cedric Tillman came off right before us.
Ooh, okay.
Rashee Rice right before us too.
Go to wide
Tank
receivers.
Dell is still there. Tank Dell.
Let's go. My boy Dante hating off Tank. Stop doing that, Dante.
Tank drops passes a lot. That's why I don't like Tank Dell.
Hey, he led the nation in yards. Come on now, leave him alone.
Yeah, because he got 150 targets.
we got Tank Dell. We got Michael Wilson.
Oh, I love Michael Wilson.
And Kayshawn Boot out of LSU.
I like Michael Wilson too. I just don't like the quarterback.
Marvin Mims is still available.
What do you want at wide receiver? Who do you think what style do you think would pair well with Justin Jefferson?
In my opinion, we need. In my opinion, I think we need a bigger body guy. One of the 50-50 ball guys. Go
to Michael Wilson then. Michael Wilson's your guy.
That wouldn't be bad either.
I would say draft him right here and take care of that.
How big is he? Look at his thing. He's big.
Bro, he's like 6'2", probably.
I think he's like 6'3". Go to first look. Go to first look over on the side.
So, yeah, 6'2", 213.
Told you 6'2". Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Bro, he was mossing Riley Moss at the Senior Bowl. I mean, it was crazy.
Was he really?
If you want a short hands guy, backside pylon catching, this is your dude, bro. I'm telling you.
Okay. All right. Let's see who else is on the board outside of receiver. But are we dead set on receiver here, Rat? Or you think we should look at a different position?
I mean, we need a receiver. I like A.T. Perry as well. Like
I'm not a fan of A.T. Perry,
but I'm gonna tell you right now, like recently, like I'm about to release my top 3. I'm doing a little series where I'm doing
your boy Tanner McKee. Your boy Tanner McKee.
I like Josh Downs is one of my new favorites. That kid is savage, bro. Like straight up. After I watched him, bro, like that dude does some amazing shit.
Well, also, we got to look of replacing Zadarius. So I mean, we got Davenport, so we don't necessarily need a.
Wait. Who was the safety? Move up. Was that Jordan Battle sitting there?
That is Jordan.
Oh
Battle.
my goodness! Oh man, you go Jordan Battle right here, no question. If you wanted safety, yes.
Over Branch.
Brian Branch. Brian Branch is gone, but Brian Branch is more of a box safety, and he's gonna help. He's gonna help out in your running game. Jordan Battle is your all-around good safety and good in coverage, can tackle, good in pursuit.
But we got Lewis Seen. We also got Lewis Seen last year that we got to see
in the first round.
And we got Harrison Smith. So, like, is there room for this guy? Is there room for him? That's the big question.
There's a safety later on in the draft that you could probably get. So I would say.
But is he one of those guys where you don't want to pass him up this late in the draft?
Yeah, I think if he's there, nobody's gonna be mad if you pick him up because it was the Jordan Battle show on that defense for a long time.
So if we take Battle here, then I think our next pick almost has to be a wide receiver.
This dude said Bryce Ford Wheaton, bro. Stop. That dude is absolute trash, bro. He drops everything. I'm telling you, y'all gotta go watch more film, man. I'm telling you, that Bryce Ford Wheaton dude is not good.
Let's see if your boy, Clark Phillips is still available as well.
Ooh, man, I love Travis Hodges Tomlinson too.
Here's my idea. Let's look at if we can trade back here, which we can trade back to 77 possibly with the Rams,
and get Clark Phillips.
Get Clark Phillips while also grabbing a 5th round. Oh, they have 77, and then they don't have anything till 167 and 171, which we can probably grab both of those if I'm being honest.
Yep, finesse them.
I might be able to get another one. No, well, I still might be able to get that. So for 71 and to move back 6 spots to 77, we'll also get 167, 171, and 177.
I like it.
Yeah, we can move right back up and grab one of those guys that we like if we really want to.
You just get a bunch of receivers because some of those receivers at the end are really good too that nobody talks about. If Jaden Reed is still there, you could pick him up.
Okay, so we're gonna do this.
Yeah,
I say do it.
All right, let's do it. They accepted. All right, resume the draft. I slowed it down. Clark Phillips just fucking went to the Rams.
God damn.
That's the price you pay, man.
Is Brian Branch or Jordan Battle? Is Jordan Battle still there?
Jordan Battle is still available, and so is Michael Wilson.
So right here, you get one of these motherfucking players, man.
Get Michael Wilson.
Yeah, get Michael Wilson.
Yeah.
Over Battle. Okay.
I think that's the better need for you guys. You guys are gonna need another really good receiver, big body guy, like you said. Get Michael Wilson, short hands, pair well against Justin Jefferson.
After the 77th pick, our next pick isn't till 119. Should we look into trading up to try to see if Jordan Battle falls to maybe like 100, which I doubt it happens, but
nah, you got some options there. We'll just wait. Okay. Well, I'm okay with drafting Michael Wilson over Jordan Battle.
Wilson, Tank Dale to the Packers, Jordan Battle to the
Steelers. Tank Dale to the Packers, man. He gonna terrorize the shit out of us for the next 10 years.
Tajay Spears.
No, he won't. He'll be okay.
I know he won't.
A lot of people like Marvin Mims
right
too. He ain't gonna do anything either.
I'm telling y'all,
I'm gonna stop it at 100 and just
I'm
see
coming
who's
back
on the
to all
board
y'all,
here.
Dante, man. Listen, next season, bro. Like when Tank Dell out there balling, bro. I'm coming back to everybody, to Dante, to Evil, to Hope, all the ones that been sitting here doubting the boy. I'm telling you right now, I'm coming back, man. I'm gonna need some answers.
I'll make an apology video. I've done it several times on my channel.
Am I not able to
Nah,
see who's
DTR.
available until the actual pick?
Yeah, that's the only bad thing
I'm
about
not able to
PFF.
see.
They need to switch that. They need to make a
Okay.
board where you can see the players. That shit's lame as hell.
I guess we'll
Like,
just
you
wait
can't see the players until it's your
119.
pick.
Oh, I remember how John was going.
Jaden Reed.
Jaden Reed's going. Damn it. Trey Palmer's
Trey
going.
Palmer. They start. Yeah. Well, we got a receiver, so Bout gone. Boot.
Booty. That's how you pronounce his last
Booty.
name. Kaya
So
Blue Kelly is awesome, bro.
I think we need to look at linebacker here. So just came off the board. He went to the Packers.
Wow, he just came off too.
Let's look at
Yeah, go to linebacker. See what's out there.
Ivan Pace.
Take him.
Take him.
Oh no. Henry Toto.
Troy Brown.
You like him better than Ivan Pace?
Yeah, I like him better than Ivan Pace.
Overshown is Overshown available? No, Overshown's not available.
Hell nah, Overshown would have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ivan Pace or Henry Toto?
Let Dante said Toto. So yeah.
I like Toto. Henry Toto.
Toto?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Toto it is. Next pick's at 158. Let me speed this thing.
Let's see what the quarterbacks look like around there.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too.
Because this is when DTR gonna be coming to the Minnesota Vikings, man. F Tanner McKee. You know what I'm saying? Like if we draft Tanner McKee, man, I'm going
if DTR is there, there he is. There. Bam, take him.
There it is.
No hesitation there. Thank you.
All right. Next pick. These are all our.
This draft nasty.
All right, so 167. This is kind of best player available at this point. Juice Scruggs. I like Juice Scruggs just from what I've seen. I haven't seen much, but what I've seen, wouldn't mind having another center to come in just in case Bradbury doesn't work.
So this is just depth picks here. You got everybody that you wanted to get. So what are we doing as far as depth? Where do you think you need to beef up at?
Fucking interior. Line. Yeah, offense and defensive line all day, and corner.
Okay,
you need more corners too.
I would say go Juice Scruggs here because I do like Juice Scruggs.
Yeah, we need to beef up the trenches.
We got our next picks in 4 picks,
and then go to defensive line.
All right.
I wonder if
also a running back. The running back wouldn't be a bad idea here either, just to add depth to that running back room.
Let's go to running backs real quick. Let's just see what's there, in case we just absolutely have to take somebody.
This man heard running back. This man heard running back and was let's go.
Chris Rodriguez. Wait. Muhammad Ibrahim is still there?
Yeah.
No, Muhammad Ibrahim is my number 1 running back. So
he's gonna be there.
We're actually meeting with him.
Chris Rodriguez is my number 2.
Oh man.
Go Ibrahim now.
We can wait till 177. These guys are
just wait. We'll play the system here.
Okay, so did you want to look at edge rusher? Or did you want to look at interior D line?
What do you think you need more? Well, we just got rid of Zadarius Smith, so let's go
both.
Let's go edge.
Whichever's edge.
Yeah, go edge. Let's just make sure we beef up there early right now.
Ihoko, Ochan Mathis, Tyler Lacey, Lonnie Phelps.
I like Lonnie Phelps. Scroll down a little bit.
MJ Anderson, Ali Gay.
Yeah. So go back up. Go get Lonnie Phelps.
You want to see interior defensive line?
Yeah, let's just see if there's any prime time guys. Lonnie Phelps is the only prime time name that I see here so far.
Broderick Martin.
Jonah Tavai. Go ahead and snack up Jonah Tavai. I don't think you can pass on him.
Tavai over
Phelps will be there. Phelps will be their next pick. I almost guarantee.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jonah Tavai. Beefing up the beef.
All right.
All right.
you go
Next
the
pick
running
is
back.
a couple of more picks. All right. Now we're looking.
Let's see if Phelps
Didn't
is
you
there.
like? Yeah. Well, didn't
running
you
back,
you
too.
like the running back too, right? You wanted to see the running back.
Yeah, let's see if Muhammad Ibrahim and Chris Rodriguez are still there. Yeah, they're still there.
Yep, they're still there. They might be there at 211.
I would say let's just sacrifice and see if one of those two are there at the end, because Evan
Okay.
Hull is still there too, and Evan Hull is pretty good.
So go grab Lonnie.
Yep, I would go
saying
grab
grab
Lonnie
Lonnie?
Phelps right now. Yep.
All right. Let's go edge. Lonnie Phelps out of Kansas.
There you go.
Shout out KU, man. Hold up, I gotta get the hat for Lonnie.
I saw you wearing it the other day.
You know what I'm saying? Shout out Lonnie Phelps, man. That boy got that
hoping
swim move on him too.
stays. Ibrahim's there. Chris Rodriguez got picked.
Yep, get Ibrahim. Bring the Minnesota kid back to the north.
There he is, just sitting
There he
there
is.
waiting for us. And there's our last pick of the draft.
Hey man, I like this.
We got a bunch of players.
Yeah,
We
this
did get
is
a
a
bunch of
solid
football
draft
players.
here.
We got
I
a we
think
got
we
a
should be-
quarterback.
We should be the new
This-
front office of the Minnesota Vikings.
Hey, this would have been lit in real life right here. I ain't gonna lie. Like we just got a bunch of shit on the board, man.
You
We got
beefed
a
up
bunch.
everywhere.
Analyzing. Let's see what we got here. I
We
don't see
better
any
get
less
an A
than
for
an
this
A.
shit.
We're gonna get an A
Facts.
plus. We're gonna get an A plus. Watch.
Facts, man.
Don't
We
play
need
with me,
that-
simulator. Don't play with me today.
I think I've only got one A plus ever. I
Oh,
think I've only
man,
got one A plus. They're taking their time too.
Oh, we ain't got no A plus,
Okay.
but we got a good.
It'll be a B probably.
Oh.
A minus. Okay.
Oh, A minus. They gave
They
us
don't
an
like-
F for Phelps.
Yeah. They
No,
don't like your
like-
That's
pick.
crazy.
They tripping. That's
They
hey,
don't
that
like
shrug, that Scruggs pick was good. See, we should have got Pace. We should have got Pace at 119, man.
Yeah.
That
Emmanuel
total-
Forbes and B plus for the Emmanuel Forbes pickup.
Man, that was-
Still
this
got
was a-
you still got
this
an
was a
A.
good draft. Yeah,
But
this
that's
was a good
two
draft.
positions of need. Mhm.
Yeah, exactly.
Three positions in need in
Oh,
their
we're
first three
definitely-
picks.
We'll take that.
Bam, bam, bam. And you
Yeah.
got rid of somebody
Yep.
that don't want to be with y'all.
Those are-
So
Those are all
Oh yeah,
starters.
Zadarius
right
Smith.
there.
Yeah, we got rid
With
of
a possible
Zadarius
with a
Smith.
possible fourth starter. And your
Facts.
possible quarterback of the future. Possible
a developmental
center of the future,
linebacker. Yep.
Tied by depth at the defensive line, which is extremely important. in
Siaki
today's
Ika's
NFL.
like little brother, basically. That's
Right.
And then
Jonathan Vaughn.
adding a running back of that talent that late in the draft, can't beat it, man. That's a great. I would be ecstatic with that draft.
Yeah, me too. I think me
Not
too.
even necessarily our top couple picks.
I mean, there's
those
a couple changes I would make. Like honestly, like I would. There's two changes, really just two changes I would have made personally. Michael Wilson, I was definitely picking Tank Dell, you know that, and then Toa, I was definitely picking Ivan Pace. Now, if that was it, it would have been the most perfect draft in the world.
And he's saying
Rap.
it would have been
Shout out
an
my
A
boy
plus.
Dante, man. Shout out my boy Dante, man.
Let me tell you about Ivan Pace.
You said
That
he's
dude-
lazy
Talk
on some
to us.
plays. though, for sure.
Talk to it.
He's lazy, bro.
Yeah.
Is he?
He's yes. At the Senior Bowl, I was like, why is he so lazy on everything? They were doing coverage drills, and he just stood there. I'm like, what is he doing? Then they were doing pursuit drills, and he wasn't doing anything. And he looked on the sidelines, he's not doing anything. It's like, I don't know.
But
I'm
when
not.
he goes hard though. Like when he goes,
When he
When,
goes
when he wants to, yeah.
keep that
I don't know if you can account for all of that all the time though.
Yeah, he needs to keep that.
But
pace,
yeah, man, great draft. Definitely some great insight from you, Dante.
Yeah, man, that was fun, man.
Yeah, man, for sure.
To be honest with you, I don't know if what you're doing for the draft, man, but we're doing this draft mania. So
You
if
doing
you're
it
available-
We got a
his own shit
big,
going on.
yeah,
okay.
we got a big live show coming.
Okay, well, shoot. If you're not tapping in live with us, go tap in live with East Coast Gridiron, man. We're not gonna fight over viewers because we know it's both great content. So
Absolutely, you just pop back
know,
and forth.
yeah,
Pop back and forth. Have
forth,
one of them
yeah.
shit on your TV, on your phone,
One on the
your
phone,
tablet, your laptop, shit. And you can stream all us at the same time. Ain't no excuse.
Yeah, we'll be doing something real cool. So we're gonna have like a scoreboard up, and then everybody's going to have all their mock draft people. So from 1 to 31, and then you get a point. You get 3 points if you correct the right person in the right team.
Yeah.
Then you get a point if you guess the correct position.
Yeah.
And then you get half a point if you guess the correct team that they drafted, but not the position or player.
Okay.
So then at the end of the first day, we're going to see, who ranked the highest, who had the, the best mock draft. So it's going to be real fun, and it's going to keep the score as we go. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, we're wrapping up here. Just overall, we're going to kind of not just keep it on the Vikings for this question, but what's one player that you think is going to fall? Like that maybe a surprising fall. There's always one player that's like, oh my God, he fell this far. There's no way. Last year, I think it was Hamilton last year, wasn't it?
No, it was Willis. It was Willis.
No, it was
Willis, wasn't it?
It wasn't Malik Willis. It was Nakobe Dean.
That's right. Nakobe Dean ended up going to Philly, but that was in like the second or third round, I think.
But people thought he had a shoulder injury, and that's the reason why he fell so far.
Yeah, but he didn't play much for the Eagles this year, if I'm not mistaken. So
was Malik Willis last year around in draft or the year before?
It was last year.
That was last year's.
But the thing with quarterbacks is
people overhyped him.
Yeah,
it wasn't necessarily
him coming into the draft. It was Liberty, dude. Like it's just like Trey Lance. I don't know how you feel about Trey Lance, Dante. But I've never been a fan of Trey Lance.
Me either.
He's playing against middle schoolers in college. I'm cool on Trey Lance.
So you said the person that's going to take the deepest fall, right?
Yeah.
I'll tell you the dude that everybody's going to reach on, Nolan Smith from Georgia. They're going to reach on him. He's going to end up being like a top 10 pick most likely.
Because of speed, right? Just like there always is one that
I'm like, I had made a video literally pointing out reports in January and February on their big board having them at like, later rounds in 28 or overall 30. I'm like, geez, man. The dude that I think is going to take the biggest fall is Quentin Johnston, the wide receiver from TCU.
I hope he don't fall in our lap because I don't.
How do you feel about him though? Do you think he's falling for a reason, or like you think
with his body too much?
Think he should be falling?
He, to me, will drop passes that end up right in his hands. I think people are over enamored with the big body. They think that this dude's going to be Alshon Jeffrey, and he's not. Mm-hmm. Alshon Jeffrey was a tough receiver. I think that's his comparable to me as well. But that route tree and him being kind of slow is what's going to get him caught up. And he doesn't deal well, and a lot of people don't point this out, but when you watch him on film, he don't deal well with like being jabbed up on the line of scrimmage too. He hates he gets way thrown off by that. So
he's too big for that.
Yeah, and I've heard through the grapevine that he hasn't been doing good on his interviews either. So that could be a real issue. And kind of Max Duggan kind of alluded to that, like he's not the best teammate ever from what I've been hearing. So you got all that. They're not going to want to take a chance on him. But yeah, I think he drops like to the second round, and people are going to be like, "What happened?" But he'll be a steal there for somebody. I just don't think he's.
So somebody will come up at the top of the second round and grab him if he's available.
But outside of Will Levis, I think he's going to go in the second round too.
Yeah. Like I said, you said Will Levis is going to fall to the second round. I don't see us passing on him if he's there. Not that I'm saying that's the right decision, but just from what I've heard about KOC loving Will Levis and them being in love with his hand size and the connections to the Kentucky offensive coordinator for KOC.
You know how I feel about that.
I just think if he's there, I don't see how the Vikings are like, nah, I'm good. Like there's too many connections and too much interest from the team for them to pass him up at 23. I don't see it happening. I really don't. I would take Richardson before Levis, but I think anybody would.
I agree with you there. Like, if I definitely had to put a quarterback at number 6, it would probably be between, of course, Anthony Richardson. I like Jaron Hall. I think he just needs a little bit of molding. But
that's crazy that Anthony Richardson ain't in your top 5. Like that's crazy.
Why is it crazy, Rap? Like he sucked. He sucked last year. He was not good.
Ask any Florida fan; they'll tell you he was.
I mean, but is there enough football to even say that he's not good at all? Like, is there
the decision making
football?
So here's the thing about Anthony Richardson. People are so over enamored that the dude can run really fast, he's big, and that he has a gun of an arm. But like, yes, you can kind of teach somebody to take the heat off the ball, but I can't teach you to not throw the ball into the ground. Like, I mean, he does that a lot. His decision making when there's obviously he can't read a defense and nobody's saying anything about that. I'm glad you could throw in your underwear, Anthony. That's great. But you can't read a defense. The progression of what we thought he was in 2021 to the film that you watch now, there was absolutely no, like, literally go back and watch the games he started in 2021 till now. It was no change. It was just like he picked up from last year and it continued to be mediocre. But again, this is why the combine and people being so over enamored with like the intangibles of a guy is so life threatening to football in general. We
just watch the film.
Why have we gotten so far away from production that we've been so over enamored by what a possibility is? And I hate I can't stand it because this is what happens. With all the intangibles, if they're there and he ends up being good, people don't want to take the chance of missing out on that. And I get that. But you got people like Bryce Young and CJ Stroud who had one of the best careers for a quarterback ever in college football history that showed you weekend after weekend after weekend that they can perform. Their numbers are there. You can literally Google Bryce Young stats and they look incredible. You can look up Bryce Young's performances against really good teams, and he was the reason last year not having a 1,000-yard receiver, not having a 1,000-yard running back. For the first time in the history of Alabama in like the last 15 years, they haven't had that. But then people are still questioning if he's the best quarterback in the draft. It's absolutely blasphemous, man. So this is what I'm saying. We have to get away from like the intangibles, like overarching what somebody did. Now, here's the example that I will use. The example that I'll use for all of this is your job you go to every day. You get paid for doing your job. If somebody came in there because they had potential and took over your position, even though you've been busting your ass and meeting your numbers and doing all this stuff, you'd be pissed, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So why are we doing it with Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
It's a slap in the face of everybody else that performed every single weekend. I can't stand that.
So I gotta so this would be my thing with it, right? Is he's a freak of nature, like, so he's blessed from the God above, like just his physical ability just seems like, you know, if it does turn out, because he is young, so if he does, let's just say he does happen to learn how to read a defense and things like that, it could be scary. I think that's why teams would. If was a fifth. But the thing is this, we also feel the same way about Bryce Young and CJ Stroud. Like, listen, they might like for example, Bryce Young might go to the Texans and turn into nobody simply because he got drafted by the Texans and they don't have the coaching staff and the GM to build a correct football team, which I think they're actually doing pretty well. But still, it could happen. Bryce Young could be nobody because of that situation. But
let me ask you a question, because if you pick Bryce Young right now because of what you've seen, nobody's going to say don't pick him.
Right.
He's a great quarterback. So if he ends up being bad, that's his fault. But if you pick Anthony Richardson off potential and he's still bad, that looks even worse, right? So let me ask you a question. Since everybody thinks the intangibles of all these guys are so good, why wasn't he able to perform in college if he was so good? It just doesn't make sense to me. It's like, yes, he's really good. We love everything he does. But why didn't it show up every single Saturday of him letting his teammates down because he couldn't make the right throw? Yep. Florida is a premier program. They are a 5-star school. People go crazy trying to play for that team. I'm a Florida State fan. I hate Florida, but they have a deep and rich history. They brought guys there to perform, and Anthony Richardson did not perform. Will Levis did not perform every single weekend. Don't even get me started on Will Levis because he didn't just skip out on everything.
So why is he being even in the conversation for possibly being the number 1 pick? I mean, because it has to be something like. Because there's a lot of guys that have athletic ability and can run and stuff like that, but they're never talked about as, hey, he's going to be the number 1 pick, though.
The NFL wants to be right. Teams want to be right about what they see. People want to be right about that. It's like that girl that dates the drug addict, even though she knows that he's never going to get better and never going to get clean, because she thinks that she can change him. And if she does change him and he ends up being everything and getting back on his feet, it looks better on her for sticking by his side the whole time, right? It's the same thing with this. Don't mean to get morbid, but it's the same thing with this situation. If you're right and you're able to get somebody there and he's able to sit behind somebody and learn how to play the game and he ends up being a fucking beast, people are going to be like, God damn, that GM was the shit. He knew exactly what he was talking about. But what's the percentage of that shit actually happening? It's very, very low.
Very slim, yeah.
But when you knock it out the park and you find that talent, it looks very, very good. You know what I'm saying? Like some GMs get away with that shit and then go to the next team and bomb out. It just happens. So that type of sustainability is it's just all over the place. You know what I'm saying? So it's too risky. It's too risky
for that high of a pick.
Exactly.
Now at pick 23, it's a little bit different, right?
Yep.
Exactly. So you don't want the top 5, top 10. That's a little bit different. But
oh yeah, if Anthony Richardson was the fall that low, bro, to 23. Oh, you absolutely.
Yeah, you got to.
Got to.
I think you got to at that point. There's no way you pass him up, right?
But the thing that's weird though is, again, like I told you, Rep, everybody's using Kirk as a scapegoat when you guys had like the number 29th overall defense.
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to address that first. But again, if you skip out on the talent and he ends up being good, then everybody's gonna be like, "Well, fuck," and then Kurt ends up being. It's a cat and mouse game, just like watching film. It's a cat and mouse game. What I feel
like, Dante, though, is this though. Even if we have like the thing with Kirk, though, is what I don't like using him is because even if we had a top 10 defense, I still think Kirk makes that throw, because even if you got a good defense, you're still going to be in close games. And I think still yet in a close game, if that same exact situation happened with us having a top 10 defense, Kirk was checking that ball down regardless. I just think that's his mentality. Like that's what he doesn't have that killer instinct, man, when it matters, man. Like that's
I get it. But what's going to get people hype is you drafting Anthony Richardson or trading up and getting him, because people think that's what you need when the glaring issue has always been your defense last year. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So the smart people know if I trade up and get Devin Witherspoon, that's defense. That's defense altering. But the fans will be mad because they're like, oh, I really wanted Anthony Richardson because Kirk and blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And
that's not what we need.
And his jerseys would sell like crazy, and the season ticket buyers would be there to see the guy. But what's going to happen is midway through the season where Kirk is doing bad, they are going to start Anthony Richardson, and he's going to suck ass.
Yeah,
that's when it's going to happen, and then you're going to be like, Quasi's job is going to be on the line.
Yeah.
It's a dog eat dog situation.
Or he can turn in, or he can ball. You just never know.
He's a year away from being an NFL quarterback.
I mean, but there's the more likely chance is what you're saying, Dante. But there still is that slim chance, though.
But Rep, in this situation too, there's never a middle ground in the NFL. You're either right or you're wrong, and it costs you your job. If you're right, you look like the shit. If you're wrong, your ass is going.
I am.
There's never a middle ground
in the Vikings,
unless you're Dallas.
To take a chance on one of the top quarterbacks, though. Like not even like I said, we said earlier, not even if it's not this draft, the next draft. I mean, you're gonna have to trade 3 first-round picks regardless. That's the price of it. You know what I mean? For the most part. So I mean, whether you do it this year or next year, I mean, we always say, "Oh, that's too much, that's too expensive," but it's always going to be expensive. You know what I mean? It ain't like they have blowout discount sales. Like, hey, you can move up 10 to 12 spots now. You can do it for a 3rd-round pick this year. We're doing a sale this year. Like, it don't work like that. You know what I'm saying? So
no, the move for a quarterback's coming. It's coming, whether it's this year or next offseason.
I'm leaning more towards next year, though. Honestly, now. I think I'm leaning more towards next year because we got Kirk this year and we know he's going to be the quarterback, and then next year we can really like go all in and get.
Well, also a lot of these guys don't like going into a season without a plan for the next 2 or 3 seasons, especially at a position like quarterback. So you don't necessarily want to go into the 2023 season saying, okay, well, we got Kirk for 1 more year, but we got Nick Mullins. So they want some source. Just like the fan base, they want to know what's going on. They want to see an end goal. They want to see, what our future is going to look like. Well, the GM wants to see that too. They want to know that too. So I think a quarterback in this year's draft is a really huge possibility. And a guy like DTR later in the draft could just pointing out to what Dante said, that gives you an opportunity to say, okay, well, this guy has a huge ceiling. If he comes out and eventually balls for us, I look like a genius. But if he doesn't ball for us, he's a 4th or 5th round pick. It's not going to come back to bite me in the ass. Then people are going to be looking at me trying to, you say, Kwesi needs to be fired. So I think the most likely scenario for the Minnesota Vikings in this draft, I don't think we get a guy like Levis. I don't think we get any of these top quarterbacks. I think we find a way to trade back from 23, whether that be at the end of the first round, because I know we want to grab that 5th-year option on one of these young players, and that was one of the big things why we stayed in the first round last year to draft Lewis Seen. So it's either going to be the end of the first round, it could be the second round, depending on what we're getting back in return. And I could see us drafting a guy like Hendon Hooker. I could see us drafting a guy like DTR, but obviously grabbing more positions of need, cornerback, defensive line. We don't have anybody playing cornerback outside of Byron Murphy right now. And then Caleb Evans. Andrew Booth can't stay healthy for a full series. So you got to fill that need. I wouldn't be surprised if we have a draft where it's 2 cornerbacks in our top 3 picks.
What kind of headphones you got, Dante?
So these are just like music in-ear monitors that I use because I can hear people's voices better because it takes out like all the bass and it's more treble or more mid-tones. So I like wearing these like when I'm talking to people. I did want to say though, like here's the difference and why it's such a better pick to pick DTR in like the 4th or 5th round is because if Kirk sucks and you put him in and he does well, Kwesi looks like a hero again.
Yep.
You look more like, because he has a scapegoat, because if he doesn't do well, then it's like, well, he's a 4th round pick and we took a chance on the guy thinking not only we wanted a more mobile quarterback, he had a lot of upside, but people are not going to blame Kwesi. You draft Anthony Richardson, you better be ready to pack your bags as soon as that motherfucker is not good. That's the difference. I mean, like literally, you could be the same.
And what you got to give up for him? Oh my gosh.
But then also on the other end, Kwesi and that team looks like geniuses if he comes in and takes you guys to the playoffs and is like the next big thing. Like if DTR gets drafted that low, you literally have Russell Wilson 2.0 sitting on your hand of like, wow, we took a chance late in the draft and got a guy that had a lot of upside, and now he's the face of the franchise. Kwesi will have a job with the Vikings for a very long time for finding talent deep in the draft. And that's why Pete Carroll's been the head coach and John Schneider have been the GM for the Seattle Seahawks for the longest time, is because time and time again they do that. They don't never go for the popular pick. And, Tyreek Woolen is that guy. They'll rather go out and go get Geno Smith and mold him into something that they think he could be. And it ended up working for him. That's why they're never out of a job.
Man. Yeah, I loved Woolen last year, man.
But people need to be more like John Schneider and Pete Carroll and put their feelings aside and really start evaluating players. But then also, Pete Carroll was a great college coach too. And I still believe if he was still coaching college, we wouldn't be talking about Nick Saban. So you also have that on your side because he knows what it's like to evaluate talent. College coaches never do well in the NFL. It just is what it is. But it's kind of like, when I talk about my podcast, people were like, oh, man, it looks good and all this stuff. Well, it's like I'm a graphic designer and I've been editing videos for like 10 years plus. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
There's a difference. I can't teach you that shit overnight.
Right.
But, that's the thing about Pete Carroll is like, yeah, I coached college and I know how to evaluate players and this and that. And that's why the Seahawks have been good every single year. Because how many of us said the Seahawks were going to be in the playoffs?
No, we thought they were a top 3 pick candidate for all of us. All of them. They're picking top 3.
And these dudes found a way to slither themselves with almost an MVP candidate and back in the playoffs. That's
almost won
right now,
division.
man.
Almost won their division.
Russell Wilson gonna be a savage next year. I don't care what y'all talking about.
Stop.
Hey, David, if you go get DTR, the thing about if you trade for Trey Lance and he gets hurt again, Kwesi looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
Because people are going like, what? People are all for it now. Oh, mobile quarterback. As soon as he gets hurt, people are going like, why did we even trade for this dude? Because you're going to have to give up a first round pick for him because John Lynch is going to finesse you.
I like how you put on the white
No-
boy voice and shit over there.
No,
I like how you
thank
put on
you.
the-
No, thank you to Trey Lance. Man. No,
It's a double-sided coin with everybody, man.
It
For
is.
sure.
you may not realize, Dante, but Trey Lance to a lot of Minnesota Vikings fans have like a certain love for him because he's from. Is he from Minnesota or from North Dakota? Which North Dakota,
He's from Minnesota.
He's from Minnesota. Went to North Dakota State, which has a lot of Vikings fans in North Dakota and South Dakota. But
That's great. That don't mean he's a great quarterback, though.
No, exactly. but that's where we're kind of getting a lot of the comments of, yeah, we need Trey Lance. Let's just go trade for Trey Lance and give up Kirk Cousins. It's not necessarily because of his play. It's because they have that.
What about when he was at North Dakota and that dude damn near had 3 1,000-yard rushers on his team? But nah, Trey Lance is great. Nobody wants to talk about that.
Or where he threw for 120 yards and like a 43% completion percentage against James Madison.
Yeah. Y'all take it easy on the boy, man.
Against James Madison.
I'm sorry. I'm just calling it like it is. I don't see the obsession with Trey Lance now.
Like can we dream, man? God damn, y'all sound like some
dream of what? That's a nightmare. That ain't a dream. That's a nightmare.
How about you just wait till next year when all the mobile quarterbacks are going to be coming out in this draft class?
As much as I do.
So this is the last question. I think it's about time we should get on out of here. We've been on air for about 2.5 hours now. But pick 23.
What watch you looking at?
Or 2 hours.
Hour and a half. I mean, an hour 45. That's still a long time, though.
San Fran picked him. He must have talent. But yes, I'm not saying that he's not. So here's the thing. Trey Lance is talented. I think he throws a good ball. I think he's athletic. But are the injuries worth it wherever he goes? And in cold weather and playing the Green Bays and stuff like that, he has a luxury of playing in California where he's going to play warm weather teams all year, except for Seattle. But outside of that, like, he's going to get crunched, man. I'm telling you.
I'd rather have a ham sandwich back in a trade than trade.
He had the same issue that Carson Wentz had. The people want to just move past the fact that this dude's always been injured his whole career, even in college.
On top of playing in a powerhouse Division II school, like that's just
they're the Alabama of FCS.
Yeah. Don't listen to them guys. I love Trey Lance, y'all. Don't listen to them.
Fuck Trey Lance.
Yeah, facts, bro.
Keep that man far away from my football team.
We want Trey Lance, man. We want Trey Lance, man. Don't listen to these guys.
I forgot in every single comment section on every single channel when everybody starts talking about Trey Lance, everybody act like they watched all his games. Remember the time he played one game in his last year? Nah, we ain't gonna talk about that though.
Man, you remember that Northern Illinois game?
They scheduled it. Yeah, it was like a special scheduled game too, wasn't it?
They did it for him. And the thing is, you go look at that game and look at his numbers. He had a terrible game. He had a terrible game. The opposing quarterback had a better game than what Trey Lance had. Now, I know there's context to that with defenses and all that, but you're North Dakota State. You're the Alabama Division II. Like, there should be no excuse here. Whether it was a one-off game or not, this was your showcase. This was your opportunity. Now, obviously, it didn't affect him much. He still went, number 2 overall in that draft. So, I'd keep Trey Lance.
They traded 2 first-round picks for him.
Keep Trey Lance far away from my team.
And they're not going to give him. They're not going to give him up. Unless Kirk wants to go there and they know they got a veteran, they're not letting Trey Lance go because they're either banking on him being really good or our homie coming back and Brock Purdy and picking up where he left off. And right now, that's just what they got. They don't want to strike out with either one of those. I mean, who would? I mean, it's kind of like we spent so much money on this guy, or we spent so much draft capital on this guy. We at least have to give him one more year, There's a 3-year rule in the NFL, and that's when you usually see people going. But then Brock Purdy has such an incredible year, so it's like, can Trey Lance get his body until Brock gets back, and then he picks up where he lives off? Then John Lynch and them look amazing. And then they say, Trey Lance is on the market, guys. Go get him next year.
Yep.
And then they get even more draft picks and start beefing. San Francisco's going to be good for a long time. Yeah. My boy John Lynch he does work, man. He will finesse you into the end. But they're not stupid.
do not make any trades with San Francisco.
If it's anybody, man, it's Kirk, man. That's a fact.
Stop it, man. Look, I will take Kirk Cousins every single day of every single week of every single year over Trey Lance and 5 times on Sunday. Let's stop it right now. Rap, look. I understand you hate Kirk Cousins.
Oh yeah.
But that should not make you place your love for a garbage quarterback. It should not.
But we don't know that Trey's garbage. You don't know Trey.
Do that to yourself. Give me one example where he showed that he was going to be a quality NFL quarterback.
I mean,
college or NFL.
In college, man, he did his thing, man. You know what I mean?
Against who? Northern Illinois, the Northern Illinois Grizzly Bears. That's
no. North Dakota State Bison.
He was playing against Northern Illinois.
Oh, you talking about Northern Illinois Grizzly Bears?
James Madison, Eastern Maine. Come on,
look, Josh Allen played in Wyoming. You know what I'm saying?
Like, Wyoming is a FBS school too. They're not FCS. They're Division 1. They're Division 1A.
Thank you.
There's difference.
Wyoming, man. Come on.
Thank you. I will take Kirk Cousins every single day of the week over Trey Lance with no hesitation. None.
Hey, I was right about Josh Allen though. You could just tell people that
I was completely wrong about Josh Allen.
Yeah.
I saw it when he was playing. I was like, ooh, this dude good. That boy good, man.
I didn't dislike him as much as I disliked Trey Lance. I'll tell you.
And Trey, like, you gotta hate for Trey Lance. That's uncalled for, man. You're gonna have to sleep on that.
It's justified. My hate is justified. He's garbage. He's
you
garbage.
ain't even see this man play no football yet, man. Relax.
I've seen enough.
He's only like 22 years old.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Stay far, far away from my Minnesota Vikings. But anyway, my last question. Rap might have one for you too, Dante.
Yep.
Vikings have the 23rd overall pick in this year's draft. The most likely scenario, in your opinion, trade up, trade back, stay at 23. What do you think the Vikings do?
Oh, man, I think the best scenario, like I said, is not trading up, but keeping your pick at 23 and sacrificing the player. Maybe Danielle Hunter and Zadarius Smith both go in a deal somewhere. Like I said, New Orleans is to me the best spot for if you want to ship both of them out and get a first round pick and a second round pick. I'd say it's worth it just to get rid of them and then just start over because. You know, a lot of people are like, well, Danielle Hunter's got the injury issues, and I love Danielle Hunter. I think he's a beast when he's healthy.
Oh yeah.
Zadarius Smith don't want to be there. So I don't like saying players need to get their way, but how much motivation is a dude going to be there that absolutely hates playing there? So might as well just ship him out and have somebody else take care of his contract where he's going to play well at. I mean, he had an incredible year too. So I mean, the value was still there.
First half of the year he did.
Yeah.
Second half he fell off.
Yeah. So, well, the whole team kind of did too on defense.
Our defense was shitty all year.
I wonder if all that stuff started, coming to a head, or why he started hating that place halfway through the season too. I mean, you just never know. So we're not in those four walls, but I think you stay where you're at. I think a lot of good people are still going to be on the board around that time. So there's no need to trade up because everybody that's going to be there, unless you're headhunting for a quarterback, unless you're headhunting for somebody like, I don't know, Bijan Robinson or something, and Witherspoon. There's a couple guys in there, are Jalen Carter, which you guys don't need really Jalen Carter either. So you guys are
that's defensive line tier, defensive line.
Well, yeah, but he's gonna play all over the place.
He ain't falling to 23.
And I don't know if Kwesi's going to want to deal with his off the field issues.
Yeah,
too.
exactly.
So, and he's going to be really far away from home too, and that tends. You've seen that happen with not to call him out, but you've seen that happen with Marshawn Lynch when he went all the way to Buffalo. He got homesick. You know what I'm saying? As soon as he came back to the West Coast, he was
closer
fine.
to the Bay. Yep.
So all that stuff matters. I mean, we're not the ones just talking about this. This is what they talk about in those four walls. I bet you, like, who's going to cause us the least trouble because we got to pay this dude money. We're going to want him to be on the field because that's ultimately why we're playing him. Who's going to be the most marketable? Who's going to sell jerseys? Who's going to sell tickets? So at 23,
I think it was that check down, man. Right when Kirk did that check down, Zadarius Smith put that fucking house for
Goes
sale.
right back to the check down.
Right when he did that check down, Zadarius Smith put the house for sale, bro. I mean, it's just like, yo, he's like, you know what? We did all this work this year for him to fucking throw the season away like that.
I'll tell you, just being in the stadium for that game and for that play in particular, it was just so like an uneventful end because we had so many crazy games this season and crazy endings and oh my God, I can't believe that happened.
Yep.
For it to end on a check down, it just completely took the energy and the air out of the whole stadium.
It did,
like
bro.
it was just like, damn, really? Like this is how we're ending this season? Like just
I know. When Trevor Lawrence threw 4 interceptions in the first half in the playoffs and then he came back and people were still saying, "Oh, this dude's a beast." And I'm like, bro, any other quarterback that's not named Trevor Lawrence would get absolutely crucified even if they won the game. Even if they won the game. Let that have been Kurt. I don't care that we won. He came back, but he still sucks.
Rap would have been on here killing Kurt.
He would have been on his helmet, bro. He would have been on his helmet.
Top of his helmet.
Rap was on here killing Kirk after the greatest comeback in NFL history, man.
Facts. Man.
Rap said, "I got the shotgun in the house. You ain't gonna make it past the burger bars. Hold on, blow your head off."
I tried, bro. I tried my hardest to rock with him. You know what I'm saying? And it just couldn't. It wasn't adding up, bro.
All right, I gotta put this comment up. Look, just like you can call me out on my takes, and I'll put your comment up to calling me out.
Yeah, hold up. You talking about D?
I gotta call y'all out on these crazy takes right here. Trey Lance was a top 3 quarterback, and no one was disputing it. He broke his ankle. This is what happened to Drew Brees. The Chargers gave up on him after an injury, and he made history.
That is incorrect. I got a video on my channel breaking down that whole Drew Brees situation. Drew Brees had a shoulder injury where the doctor told him that you're probably not ever going to be able to throw again.
He had to go to multiple doctors.
And the Chargers were like, "Sorry, man, we'll let you walk because we don't know how bad this is going to be." Yeah. And the Saints ended up taking a chance on him. So that's number 1. Number 2, Trey Lance was a top 3 quarterback because a bunch of teams in the NFL during that time needed a quarterback. Yeah. And the same situation that we mentioned before, nobody was going to miss out on the chance of taking a chance on somebody like Trey Lance because of the skill set that he has. He's not a top 3 quarterback. He's in this draft, he'd be drafted 8th overall.
Overall, as far as
all the quarterbacks, yep, he'd be the 8th quarterback off the board this year if he was in this year's draft.
Thank you.
Come on, bro.
Comparing him to Drew Brees is wild. Come on, D. You're better than that, D.
Come on, man.
Better than that, D. Comparing him to Drew Brees, a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I have not criticisms towards Drew Brees. I have my comparisons with Drew Brees because I can sit here and say Kirk Cousins is Drew Brees without a Super Bowl.
He's my quarterback number 1 of all time. People are like, "What?" Yes, he's my.
But I wouldn't be too far off if I told you Kirk Cousins is Drew Brees without a Super Bowl, right? If you look stat-wise, it's not far off.
Yeah, I mean that's true, but Drew Brees will throw 5,000 yards every season if you let him too. So
yeah,
he ain't never had nobody like Justin Jefferson either.
That's true. Very true. No, I'm not saying Kirk Cousins is better than Drew Brees or that he's as good as Drew Brees, but if you
Drew Brees was good until he got injured too.
Yeah.
That year and with the Chargers, they had like Curtis Conway and LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio. Was Antonio Gates there? Yeah, I think Antonio Gates was there his last year. Like they were cooking, and then he got hurt.
I'm saying if you add a Super Bowl win, and I believe it's Super Bowl MVP, correct? Did he win Super Bowl MVP? Or was it somebody else? I think it was Brees. It had to be Brees that won Super Bowl MVP that year, right?
I don't think he won Super Bowl MVP. Let me look it up.
No, I don't know. It might or was it Tracy Porter because he had that pick 6. Anyways,
Trey Lance got.
Oh no, it was Drew Brees.
It was just so. If you and I know this is like just reckless kind of speculation or just kind of adding to somebody's resume, but if you add a Super Bowl and Super Bowl MVP to Kirk Cousins' resume, do you look at him in the same light as a Drew Brees? Is he a top 10 quarterback all time?
Mm-hmm.
Would say yeah? Right?
He'd be close.
If he won a Super Bowl, hell yeah, absolutely. But that would never happen. He's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback. That's the problem. That's the issue.
Well, SK, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
So this is kind of like alluding to the same question I always ask people, and this is the first time that we're ever talking, right? Okay. So, out of Eli, Ben Roethlisberger, and Phillip Rivers, rank them right now.
Am I taking into consideration like their resume and Super Bowl wins and all that?
However you rank them.
However you rank them
on my team, or just taking them on my team.
Yeah, however you rank them. Just rank them right now, and then we'll break it down. So rank them right now.
Okay, so if I were to rank them without any kind of context to it, just ranking them, I would say number 3, I would go Eli. Now, obviously, the 2 Super Bowls is cool. We'll go into context later, but he's my number 3. My number 2, I'm going Ben. My number 3, I'm going Phillip. I mean, my number 1, I'm going Phillip.
My man, it's the same exact order that I have him at. Now, I was going to ask you a question to break it down. Now, if you had to take one of those quarterbacks with the vanilla team, with, let's say, like, everybody's rookies on the team.
Okay.
What quarterback you taking? I'm going Phillip all day.
I think I'm going Phillip, too, because I think the leadership, and I think he would be able to kind of relate to the younger crowd than an Eli or a Big Ben would. Big Ben kind of
Big Ben in his prime, though. Big Ben in his prime.
Phillip Rivers was better.
Dude, Phillip Rivers was a beat.
Statistically,
he played on an ACL.
Big Ben, though. We talking about stiff arm, get up off me. You know what I mean? We talking about Big Ben, man.
Phillip didn't have to stiff arm nobody when he could sling the damn rock.
that form was ugly.
Ass throwing form.
It looked like he was throwing a medicine ball, bro.
He made it work, though. He made it work.
Hey, go look at him when he was at NC State. It was worse.
He made it work.
But here's the thing. A lot of people don't know. Phillip Rivers has better statistical or better stats year after year than any of those quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Right.
For people to say, oh, he never won a Super Bowl. Well, what about his whole team? This is a team game, baby.
Yeah,
Big Ben's teams always stepped up. Mm-hmm. Eli's had 2 amazing catches against the GOAT.
Great defense.
And great defenses. So everybody will say, yeah, LaDainian Thompson, Antonio Gates. Okay. Whenever we ever said offenses win games or offenses win championships. Yeah. Nobody ever said that ever.
Defense wins championships.
But it's the name of the game, though, man, is to have Super Bowl. It just is what it is.
But some people rank hardware very, very high, and some people don't.
Well, certain hardware. And I'm not Super Bowl. I mean, yeah, I think you gotta rank that, man, because that's almost like
how it's a team effort.
Because if you think about it, like it's almost just like any sport, though, like right.
So Rex Grossman is a Hall of Famer because he been to a Super Bowl.
Nah, hell nah. Like you gotta have the numbers too. But I think Super Bowl, and I think these guys will probably tell you that saying they probably would tell you, man. Like
Nick Foles a Hall of Famer.
Like I'm sure Phillips probably sits back every night and says, "Damn, bro, like I would give all of these 4,000-yard seasons up for a fucking one Super Bowl." Like
maybe
but they would. I think they need to let all 3 of them in the Super Bowl, all for different reasons. You let Big Ben in because he had the best career out of all 3 when it comes to hardware, overall, having the stats and everything. You let Eli in because he beat the GOAT twice and he was decent and he was a decent quarterback. And you let Phil in because he balled out every single time that he had the chance to ball out and kept the Chargers into so many games. If all 3 of them don't get into the Hall of Fame, and I told my wife, I'm like, I'm not even a Phillip Rivers fan like that, but I've been harping on Phillip Rivers needs to be mentioned instead of being on the bottom on everybody's list. He needs to be in the middle or on the top of everybody's list, and people need to put respect on his name. I will be at the Hall of Fame with a Phillip Rivers jersey if he gets in. Talking about, I told y'all so. I'm gonna have a proud dad moment when he gets on the stage.
Quarterback.
I loved Phillip Rivers when this motherfucker went out there and played on a torn ACL against the Patriots and damn near beat them.
And he had a pretty good year with the Colts too.
Yes. And he should have beat the Bills in that game. That playoff game. He damn near beat the Bills. So look, I'm with you, Dante. Phillip 1, Ben 2, Eli 3, and they're
in that order.
Quarterbacks. And
I ain't gonna lie, I would put him over Eli. Like my order would probably be Ben, Phillip, and then Eli. Like
I can't argue that list though. If you choose Ben over Phillip, I can't argue that. I can't argue
Just
that.
'cause
at all.
Ben in his
it's
prime,
hard to.
bro,
It's-
Ben in his
it's hard
prime,
to.
bro. That's kind of hard. Like with the Super Bowl, I think the Super Bowl puts him above Phillips for me. You know what I mean?
So
But
I
Eli's
guess,
Super Bowl doesn't put him above Phillips, though. That's how I put it.
I also seen when Big Ben threw 5 interceptions against the Jaguars too.
Yeah, but shit, Philip Rivers throw ass interceptions too now.
I don't think Phillip Rivers ever threw 5 interceptions. Let me see. Let me look up Phillip Rivers stats. I don't think he ever threw 5 interceptions.
That's a big feat. That's a big feat to throw 5 interceptions.
Well, I mean, like just
Nathan
having a lot
Peterman.
of interceptions. A lot.
That's
of
Nathan
interceptions.
Peterman, man.
Yeah, that is
No,
Nathan
but
Peterman type shit.
the end of Big Ben's career was really, really ugly.
That
It
shit was atrocious.
Really,
He threw
really ugly.
He threw 4.
Oh, okay.
4.
He threw 4 in 2012.
4 in 2012.
Yeah, but I like the list though.
Gunslinger.
You know what I mean? I think I see what you're saying. That's actually a good question to ask people that rank quarterbacks because but like
It's fair.
I still believe like Super Bowl is more important, man. And
Your criteria is just a little bit different than ours.
Yeah, I think you got to have the Super Bowl, man, to be considered.
Yeah. I think you're
Up there,
looking at it
bro.
as if you want to take a quarterback for one game and everything was on the line, who are you taking? So in that question, the answer and the rankings might be a little bit different. You may feel like Eli's more of the clutch quarterback than the other two, and if it was one game, you'd rather take Eli. So I think it's all kind of how you look at it.
It's like Dan Marino, like when you talk about like the Steve Youngs and the Joe Montanas and all, like sometimes he gets left out and stuff by default only because he doesn't have the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? Like,
Warren Moon?
Warren Moon. Like forget about him, and I think it's because
Tony
they don't have the
Gonzalez?
Super Bowl, you know what I'm saying?
And again, I mean, look at a guy like John Elway. His entire career up until his last 2 seasons, he was criticized because he couldn't win the big game. I'm not comparing Kirk Cousins to John Elway.
Absolutely
but I'm saying, as far as the criticism goes, he was criticized in the same way. Yeah, he has all these great numbers. He does this, he does that. But when it comes down to the big game and they need him, he finds a way to lose. So I don't like piling on Kirk Cousins because there's a whole lot of context that goes into just playing the quarterback position. It is going to be your fault, but it's not all your fault, regardless of what people want to say.
And how are we? We weren't dogging Big Ben. We just and SK just basically said we like it's close. I don't. I think everybody is collectively taking Eli and Big Ben over, or taking Phillip and Big Ben over Eli any day of the week. I think Eli's 3 on everybody's list. We're not saying that he was a beast, but you either like Phillip Rivers. This is like fantasy, right? If Phillip Rivers and Big Ben was on the board, who the fuck you picking? Phillip Rivers.
Probably
picking Phillip Rivers
if
every
it's
day.
Fantasy. Yeah, if it's fantasy football.
That's what I'm saying. But also, again, that Super Bowl that they won when what's his name was retiring, he never really had that motivation.
Yeah.
That when Ray Lewis retired, was anybody saying I'm scared of Joe Flacco? Hell nah.
No.
But Joe Flacco stepped up in that game and had to
those entire playoffs. Those entire playoffs.
Because he knew that Ray was retiring.
11 touchdowns, no interceptions. No interceptions that entire playoff run from Joe Flacco.
And still people weren't saying, oh man, I'm scared of Joe this weekend. No, that never happened.
He got paid. That's all he cared about.
But people hated playing.
Again, real quick, this goes back to him betting on himself. Now, Kirk may have went about it a little bit differently this year, but this is essentially Kirk betting on himself going into the last year of his contract. We can see the best Kirk we've ever seen this upcoming season.
But SK, let's be honest here too, because I seen your boy Justin Jefferson the last 3 or 4 games shit the fucking bed, and people are still blaming Kirk. So I'm like, how you having an amazing season and just totally just fizzle out towards the end of the year? Because people are like, oh, he's not a Super Bowl winning quarterback, but then you got to have your weapons step up to the plate.
I also think defense is caught on to us force feeding Jefferson and realizing that Thielen isn't the receiver that he was before, to where they're like, okay, we don't have to double Thielen anymore. We don't have to have help over the top of Thielen anymore. We can put our sole focus on Justin Jefferson, and obviously you got to worry about TJ Hawkinson, but we weren't running the ball well. I just think defenses were able to key specifically on Justin Jefferson. Now, I'm not taking him from any of the blame at all, but I think that was one of the main reasons. And I'm thinking about the last games that you're talking about. So obviously the playoff game against the Giants, which in the first half first quarter,
he was doing his thing.
He had a really good first quarter, but for some odd reason we started going away from him. Yeah. The game before that, the Chicago Bears, he only played the first quarter. I think he only had a couple catches. Game before that was the Packers game, correct?
Where he got shut down.
Yeah.
Jair Alexander.
Yeah, got sat down. And then the game before that was not the Lions. It was a win. What game was that? Right before the Packers. I'm trying to think what game that was. Jesus. Help me out, guys. Shoot it in the comments. Who was the game before the Packers?
I can't remember who.
Cowboys beat us. Then it was Giants. It was the Giants. It was the Giants.
Oh yeah, the Giants. That's right.
It was the Giants.
That's right.
Yeah, it was the Giants. So, and Justin Jefferson I think he had a really good game that game.
Yeah, he had a decent game.
It was more of a TJ Hawkinson game because TJ had 2 touchdowns and 100 and some odd yards. But no. I can see why you would bring that up. But I think
he would go missing. JJ would go missing against better teams, like teams that had a decent cornerback. You know what I mean? Like winning teams.
Well, yeah, I think that happens to a lot of these top. If you go up against a top defense that has a really good corner, the defense is able to do a lot more when the cornerback has a little bit more success than others do, to where the defense can show a whole lot more looks if they're able to trust the corner on Justin Jefferson. You get what I'm saying? So
right.
I think it was more due to defenses scheming against Justin Jefferson, which it's going to continue to happen. And I think that's why it's so important to get another game or a playmaking receiver on the opposite side of him. KJ Osborne's great, but you got to have another guy on the opposite side of Justin Jefferson to open up this offense.
Here's why Justin Jefferson won't be in my top 3, because I know the people are going to ask, where do you rank him?
Oh man,
you're going crazy. He'll probably be number 5, but it's because of that. So how am I going to rank this dude higher than Cooper Kupp or Devonta Adams that show up week after week after week getting double, triple team when this dude is supposed to be him? You know what I'm saying? So, even Jamar Chase, when Jamar Chase is out there, Jamar Chase is better than Justin Jefferson. That's no cap. He's a better receiver. He gets double and triple teams, and he does everything with it that he can. Like these guys never get taken out of games. So, it's hard to say. You know what I'm saying? It's like, Jair Alexander to me is the best cornerback in the National Football League. And you've seen it. He completely took out of Justin Jefferson. So I can't go around and say that he's him. He's him. No, the guys that are him never get taken out.
But hold up a minute, man. Are you trying to say that JJ's not a good wide receiver? Is that what you're trying to say?
He's not saying that.
I'm not saying that.
My boy, man. Come on.
He said he's not top 3. He said he's not top 3.
Cap. Yes, he is. Yes, he is. If he ain't top 3, who is?
He's in my top 3. I see your point, what you're saying, Dante. He's in my top 3, and I still think he has a little bit more to prove. That's why.
What?
I think he has more to prove.
What?
That's not a knock against.
The man done broke every record that you can break as a wide receiver coming in his first 3 years. What else?
Absolutely. But again,
I think people coming in the league got to prove that they can be better than him.
No. But there's times where you can't be sat down like you got sat down against Jair.
That's a fact. You
can't.
Yeah, you can't.
But you saw what he did. You saw what he did to Jair week 1, though.
I was there in person.
Made him look crazy, didn't he? Go watch that film. Yeah. Put him on skates multiple times. Made him look stupid.
But I want to see how you respond to when defenses are scheming specifically for you and you're going up against a top cornerback. Can you do it consistently?
I agree, though.
This is not me saying Justin Jefferson isn't great. This is me not saying Justin Jefferson isn't a top 3 wide receiver, top 2 wide receiver. I'm not saying that by any means. What I'm saying is that he has a lot more room to be better.
Facts.
So that's all I'm saying.
But that's why he's at number 5.
Him getting better though, bro, like wow. Like
he's got some issues. I've seen JJ just drop wide open passes before. He's got some issues.
Every receiver does. If you're not Larry Fitzgerald, you drop passes.
But Devontae Adams is number 1. Cooper Kupp, I don't care what anybody says, is number 2, if not number 1.
He's coming off injury.
Yep.
Yeah.
But you can't argue it. You can't argue his stats and the numbers he puts up.
You can't.
Number 3 is Jamar Chase to me. Number 4,
which
is
Jamar Chase had a huge drop problem when he came into the league. Bad.
No, he didn't. He only had it in the preseason.
Yeah, there was reports of it. And he came out and just balled out.
And he said the issue was because the stripes on the football in college. He didn't know where to. But as soon as week 1 hit, bro, he was on fire. He didn't really drop anything.
My argument against Chase though.
Oh,
Chase does have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, which are very, very good compliment. T. Higgins is wide receiver 1 in a lot of teams in the league. You can't say that about anybody else on the Minnesota Vikings in the wide receiver position.
Take him off Cincy and see what happens to Chase. See what happens with Cincinnati when he's in there.
Yeah, no, he makes a difference. But I do.
He's getting doubled.
I do look at who else is in that passing game that helps Jamar Chase. If Justin Jefferson had T. Higgins on the other side of him, I don't think this is really a topic of conversation. If I'm being honest.
No, like to me, man, like I mean, it's okay. I see what Dante's saying too, but for me, man, like JJ is absolutely
they're coming after you, Dante.
In the NFL.
They're coming after you, Dante.
Like to me, and this ain't even me. This ain't even the Vikings fan in me, bro. Like this is just saying. I just think that Justin Jefferson, bro, it literally like now. Yes, there is games where he goes missing. I don't know if some of that's play calling or if some of it's, Kirk not throwing him the ball because they're triple teaming him and shit. But I'm gonna tell you right now, man, I just think Dante like,
every time you give somebody praise, people just come on and say, "Are you a fan of this team?"
Yeah.
Like, have you ever watched Jamar Chase play? The dude is freaking dominant, pulling double teams. I've never Justin Jefferson does not do what Jamar Chase does. Even in college,
his yak is ridiculous.
Even in college, his hands are better. His route running is better. He's bigger. He's stronger. Like he's ridiculous. The only reason he didn't have the stats that Justin Jefferson had this year is because he got hurt.
I thought, and that's crazy because I thought he was older than JJ. Why did JJ enter the draft a year before Chase? Isn't Chase older than JJ?
Because he declared and Jamar Chase didn't.
Yeah, no, that was weird. I was wondering why, because Chase actually had damn near a better year than JJ.
He was healing up on some injuries and he didn't want to come out, so then he sat out a year and then he came in the league and went off. Yeah. I mean, yeah, you could break records and everything, but like to me personally, Cooper Kupp is my number 1. I've never seen a wide receiver just go after everything, bro. Yeah. If you want that dude on 3rd and 19, you're like, man, this might be impossible. He'll take a slant route to the house and stiff arm you, do everything he's got to do.
I mean, Buffalo Bills catch.
We had a 4th and 18. We had a 4th and 18.
Did you see that JJ catch Dante? Did you see that, Dante?
I saw it.
I seen it.
The impossible. This man made the impossible happen, man. JJ down there somewhere, man. Throw that motherfucker down there.
All right,
but Justin Jefferson wasn't even in my top 5 last year.
Yeah, this is the real question, though. Whose gritty is better, Dante? Whose gritty is better between Chase and JJ?
JJ, bro. What?
Jamar Chase started it, so I'm gonna just go by the declare.
What? He did?
No.
Yes, he started it. Yes.
Damn, everybody thinks it's JJ's dance too.
Hey, think about this with LSU.
Popular.
Think about the things that have happened with the LSU guys, right? So check this out. Check out the trend. The first trend was with Odell Beckham Jr. and Jarvis Landry with the hair. Remember they used to have the mohawk joint, and then all the little kids, like the last 5 years, have started doing that. Yeah. And then after that got done, then JJ and Jamar come out, and then the gritty happens, bro. 2 LSU receivers, bro. It's crazy. I don't know what it's about LSU guys.
But LSU you cannot miss on LSU receivers for some reason. You cannot miss.
Who's coming out this year? Who in LSU's coming out this year? Man? We might just need to take a chance on one of them motherfuckers.
Kayshawn Boutte.
Who's supposed to be a pretty good prospect, too. I think he's going projected 2nd, 3rd rounder.
He messed up. He messed up. He's a crybaby though. He's a crybaby when he don't get his way. So he should have been number 1 consensus overall, but he's a crybaby.
He got attitude.
And then he got himself into that trouble with that recruiter or whatever.
Hey, but now we've been on 2 hours, man. I got to get up out of here, man. I got to go pack. I'm going out of town. But look, I'm bringing my laptop and stuff. I'm gonna have my little mobile setup, man. So we can still go live, man. I'm gonna be out of town until Monday, but shit, we can still. I'm gonna go live over the weekend and stuff too.
You know
man.
how we do, man. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Not only the Purple and SKOL'd Media, not only the Purple Pocket Podcast, but also go hit that subscribe for East Coast Gridiron. That's Dante's page. And hit those likes, man. We're trying to get these likes up.
We gotta get Dante, man, to put JJ, man. That's what we gotta do, man. Dante gotta put JJ at top 3, man. We gotta get him there, man. Like,
should I do it? Should I do it?
That's ridiculous, man.
Hey, Rep, don't have me do it. Don't have me prove everybody wrong in the comment section. I think you're
gonna have to do it, man. I might need to see it.
I might do a breakdown on why Justin Jefferson is not as good as Jamar Chase, and it's gonna absolutely y'all gonna be like, okay, never mind.
I'll tell you right now, you'll get the views. You'll get the views.
Yeah, you will. That shit will pop off for real. You absolutely will.
You'll get the views.
So. We love our JJ now. That's a sensitive topic now, so be careful now. You know what I'm saying?
I know. But y'all stole my boy first, so just remember that as a Florida State fan. I saw Dalvin Cook for years.
Dalvin.
Best in something. We feel like JJ is the best wide receiver in the NFL, so we hold that dearly to our heart. You know what I mean?
Gonna have to pay him.
Y'all know me. I'll have context though.
Exactly. Right. Everybody tapping in. We appreciate y'all. Everybody letting us know that the panel's legit. Facts, they love the show tonight. We appreciate y'all,
man.
We love communicating with you guys and stuff. We didn't get to do the call line, but we'll do that probably in the next coming days and stuff and talk some more football.
Yeah. I would love to hear you guys' questions, like if I could come on again and just anybody's got draft questions and things like that.
Oh yeah, fact. We're gonna do that, man. Yeah. To be real, like maybe we'll do that like once a week up leading up to the draft, man. Just have Dante come on the panel for sure.
Because I'm watching film like on my channel like almost every day, bro. Like I got this. I'm telling you, this slider series is gonna be ridiculous up till the draft.
Actually, I'm about to go watch the Bijan one right when we get off here.
Yeah, but that one. Slide your phone number in the private chat. So I can hit you. We got to do some more content together for sure.
Yeah, facts, man. You and SK would be fire to do a show together too and go back and forth talking and stuff too.
Yeah,
man.
So we'll make that happen. So again, guys, go subscribe to all the pages. We appreciate you guys tapping in, communicating with us. We love it. Everybody on Facebook, make sure to hit that like, follow the page, Purple and SKOL'd Media. We'll be back soon, y'all. It's SK, Rap, Dante from East Coast Gridiron.
JJ number 1, baby.
JJ number 1.
Appreciate you guys, man.
All right, man.